Come sit on your blanket.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the field our visiting team, the Cornell Raiders. The head coach for the Raiders is Ed Dawson. He is assisted by Mike Smith and Justin Grady. He's also assisted by Courtney Alston, Derek Jackson, Ken Rainey III, Bob Patterson, and Brian Burton, and Kenzen Rainey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Week 1 of California Trojans football, where they will take on the Cornell Raiders. I am joined here by my partner, Damani Stafford.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Trojans won last week against Sarah Catholic 44-14. Some of the stats for that game: Malachi Peak had 14 carries for 148 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Braden Crockett, the sophomore, had 3 carries and rushed for 46 yards. Logan Hartley on 6 carries had 23 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown. And passing, he went 6 for 10 with 76 passing yards and a 65-yard passing touchdown to Aiden Keys. And to start off the season, once again, kind of ironic here, Alan Dennis returned it for our first score of the game, and it was an 82-yard kickoff return. Now looking at the defense, 10-plus tackles on the game. Noah Leahy had 10-plus tackles. Braden Crockett had 10-plus tackles. Aiden Keys and Landon Abercrombie also had 10-plus tackles. And for sacks, Noah Leahy went off for 4 sacks on the game, and Braden Crockett had 1 sack, Landon had 1 sack, and Malachi Peak had 1 sack as well. And some scores around the WPIAL. The Brownsville Falcons lost to the Bentworth Bearcats 6-47. Amani Christian beat Clareton at their new Tyler Boyd Stadium 19-12. West Green lost to Waynesburg 50-6.
DJ Ross, Alex Braddock.
Now coming out to the field are your captains for the California Trojans: Landon Abercrombie, Malachi Peak, Logan Hartley, and Noah Leahy.
Captains for the visiting Cornell Raiders: number 5, Terrence Collington; number 20, Khalil Johnson; number 2, Latte Littlejohn; and number 78, Solomon Vance.
As you just heard from our public address announcer, Drew Thomas, those were the captains for the Cornell Raiders.
Number 6, Logan Hartley.
Yeah, I think we're going to be in for a good one tonight. I think Cornell comes with a lot of speed, and California's going to have to play physical football like they always do and come out and be able to stop the speed that Cornell's obviously going to have. And as we see right now, California will receive, so this is good for them, to put the ball in their court per se and establish momentum early for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what we got to do, is we got to just hit early and just stay on top the whole time.
Absolutely. And looking at Cornell, we've seen them in pregame warm-up. Their quarterback looked like he was throwing pretty nice balls out there, so I'm excited to see how him and his receivers look up tonight against California, and they're very stout defensive backs here, and Alan Dennis and freshman Brandon Meyer as well.
And as you saw, Cornell running off the field, looking like they were pretty hyped up for this game. Last year, Trojans came up short a little bit. It was a tough matchup. First time seeing them in a very, very long time.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's another thing too. Cornell and California has had some battles. I think back to whenever we played them in 2019 in the playoffs. I mean, we only lost 32-27, and that loss stuck with us a little bit, so I'm very excited to see California and Cornell now playing each other in week 1 here in the season and getting a chance to get their revenge here.
The coaches list for California Trojans are head coach Ed Woods and assistant coaches Royce Sorfran, Darwin Mangus, Brent Baker, PJ Ross, Alex Braddock, Scott Fayetta, Ray Huffman, and John Prokowski. Equipment manager and here goes the kick, and it's going to be taken up the field and brought down at about the 47-yard line. That was Aiden Keys there, number 9, senior.
Yeah, that was one of the guys that had a big game last week for the Trojans there. So that was a great return to establish some momentum, like we said, and that's what California has to start out with. I'm very interested to see how Logan Hartley here starts out for the California Trojans, coming back for his senior year here, and very excited to see how he plays tonight.
I mean, yeah, like I said, he had a 76-yard receiving touchdown, which one of the longest in a while.
Exactly.
And they're going to give it to Malachi Peak. And Peak's going to get taken down to the line of scrimmage for no gain there.
Yeah, and as you can see, Cornell didn't come around playing here defensively. They stopped Peak for no gain there. And that's another thing that Cornell is going to have to do is stop the physical run that California is used to bringing every single night.
And especially with Malachi Peak, you know, he's one of the bigger guys on the team. And
absolutely.
Last week we just gave him the ball and no one could tackle him from Sarah Catholic.
And that's another thing. Peak reminds me a lot of another running back that wore the number 1. You know, it takes multiple guys to bring that guy down.
Yep. And another handoff to Peak, and he gets a gain of about 3 there.
Malachi Peak on the rush.
Taken down of a bundle of Raiders there.
Yeah, that was Terrell Pettis there to make the initial contact.
On the stop for Cornell, number 17.
That was really good. He squeezed down, was able to stop Peak again.
Down after a gain of 2.
Carter Frankel checking into the game. Looks like for number 3, Alan Dennis.
See what California has here.
Excuse me, Eli Carpenter.
3rd and 9.
3rd and about 6 here. Hartley, shotgun formation. And he's going to take it himself. There he goes. Logan Hartley, what a run. Oh, baby. What a run from Logan Hartley. Just finding his legs and getting them the first down that they needed on a crucial 3rd down there.
Absolutely, and that's I used to run that play a lot here under Coach Ed Woods. That's our basic quarterback counter, and that was a great play designed by them.
I mean, he just found the hole and just took it.
Absolutely. And that was his guard and his tackle on the other side pulling to open up them lanes for him. So Cornell got to step up huge now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that just slipped their mind. They thought they were going to pass there. And Hartley gives it to Peak. Peak, look at the strength. Gets a gain of about 7 there.
And like we said, it's going to take multiple defenders to take down Malachi Peak here.
It'll be 2nd down and about 2 yards.
Sorry, gain of about 8 there.
Sorry, 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, Peak standing at 6 foot 231. That's a big running back here in single A football.
Hartley close up under center. Another give to Peak. There he goes, bowling through the line and finally gets taken down, but not before getting another Trojans first down.
Malachi Peak picking up a first down for the California Trojans.
And truly, last year.
That's number 5, Terrence Collington on the tackle for Cornell. 1st and 10 Trojans. Ball be placed at around the 18-yard line.
Yeah, and another thing too, this is like a breakout year for Peak. He had to play a lot of fullback last year due to the team having Lee Kwok in the backfield. So, and that's one thing about California. They always keep a stud started.
Oh, a reverse to Peak. Look at Peak just hurdling defenders. And there's Crockett in there trying to push him forward, but there's a flag on the play.
That's Malachi Peak.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they called there. I'm thinking some type of holding, against the Trojans there.
And that's gonna be crucial for them. That's gonna put them back.
Yeah, but I like how California's starting out right now. They're starting out with a lot of momentum, running the ball, and you know that's California's bread and butter every year. It's just to run the football, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So
and that holding call was on Braden Crockett for the Trojans.
Yeah, so just a mental mistake there by Crockett that he just has to fix and don't let it continue for the rest of the game.
27-yard line.
And I truly think he's going to be special one day. He has already squatted 605 in the weight room. He's been working so hard. And it's going to be a give to. It's going to be a quarterback keeper there by Logan Hartley. He's taken down by.
That's number 6, Logan Hartley on the
looks
rush.
like 74 there for the Cornell Raiders. That would be Andre Morris.
On the tackle.
Standing there, 6 foot 310. He's a big boy, taking down.
Big boy down there in the trenches for Cornell.
That's truly where the battle was won, in the trenches. They say it every year.
And that's definitely, California's going to have to hold up against a very tough Cornell defensive line here tonight and give Hartley and the running back some lanes to run in.
And Hartley looks to pass, and it's pass to Peak. Peak getting up the sideline. Runs right into a defender, but not before getting out of bounds.
Malachi Peak on the reception.
So, right there, that was just a screen pass, but I think Peak just didn't read the hat of his blocker there. He should have more went inside instead of outside. And I think that's what Coach Soffern is down there telling him right now. So.
And truly, one of the biggest losses was losing Christian Ross on our kicking side of things, because now our punter is currently Logan Hartley, and our kicker, I think, is either Landon Abercrombie or Malachi Peak. They switch off and on.
Yeah, so California here right now at their 21-yard line have to be able to,
they
pick
got
up
to
this
convert
first down.
here. And Hartley in shotgun formation. And it's going to be another quarterback keeper. He gets to the outside. Right side, open field! Touchdown, Trojans! Logan Hartley takes it all the way for the Trojans touchdown, first of the year.
Absolutely, and that was another great play design there, as we've seen. He almost scored the first time they ran it. Now they come in, condense things a little bit, and run it again, and he scores off it. And that reminds me a lot of what Baltimore does with Lamar Jackson. So that was a great call and great play design there. Great run by Logan Hartley as well.
And I can tell they're giving him, like last game, he only got 23 yards, but they gave him the ball a lot. They let him run on his leg.
And that's one thing that Coach Ed Woods has established here, is that he wants a guy that's going to be able to not just throw the ball, but run the ball as well.
And he's going to get in for the 2-point conversion.
So, yeah, great start there by California.
Striking early.
Yeah, establishing momentum, like I said. And now Cornell has to somehow counter that here and use their speed or whatever the case may be here against California and their very stout defense.
But like I said earlier, Noah Lehue, it's going to be tough to get by him. He was insane last game against Sarah Catholic. I went and watched their game at Sarah Catholic, and he was just electric, just sack after sack after sack.
Absolutely, and a guy like Lehue, you almost have to double team him and be aware of where he's at all times on the defensive line. So, but then again, you have Peak on the other side that you're also going to have to worry about. So Cornell's going to be in for one to stop those two, and I'm very, very excited to also see how Cornell's quarterback comes down and plays here tonight.
And Noah Lehue standing at 6'5", 240. Almost the same height his brother was at the end of his career, or end of his high school career.
Absolutely.
General Contracting, Ray's Baseball Institute, Megan Saley Photography, Mark Planning and Consulting, Christmas Roadhouse, and AMD Industries. We thank you guys all for your continued support.
And tonight is also youth night here at California. Only having 4 home games, they had to cram all the nights into all of our home games. So
absolutely, that's good that the Trojans are able to have home games, at least 4. Because I know back in COVID we only were able to have 1. So for them to have 4 this year, that's pretty good still. So
thank you to about the 56 viewers watching us live right now. We thank you for all your support. And if you want to check us out, go subscribe to our YouTube channel at Trojan TV. We stream every single day on our live news, Monday through Friday, and a kickoff there. And he's going to get to the outside. He's still up. Gets down to about the 38-yard line, 39.
Return for Cornell.
Yeah, that was Johnson there on the return from Cornell. Pretty good return there as well. Putting it around almost the 40-yard line for Cornell to start off their first possession here tonight.
1st and 10 for the Raiders. Ball will be placed.
I mean, most of the times here in 1A football and 2A, sometimes 2A football, that looks like where a couple of your first points or a couple of your touchdowns come from is just kick returns.
Absolutely, it is.
You can catch a team off guard so fast. I mean,
and that's what some people don't understand is, special teams is also a part of football, and a lot of kids don't understand that yet, but absolutely, this is where a lot of points can be either taken or given here, is in special teams.
Snap, it's another quarterback keeper, and he's going to get out to the right side, and if he can find it, taken down by, looks like Aiden Keys.
Yeah, and that was Johnson there again, taking a direct snap there.
That's Khalil Johnson on the rush for Cornell.
Yeah, so it does look like Cornell's going to try to outrun California here tonight.
1st down Raiders. Ball will be placed at the 39-yard line.
Now Johnson still in shotgun formation. There we go. All snapped, handoff, and he's gonna get stuffed by the Trojan defense.
It looked like that was Keys again there on that stop.
Crockett and Leahy also came in to help there.
And that was handed off to Littlejohn there with no room there after Keys made the initial contact for the Trojans. And that was a good stop there by Keys. I'm very impressed with how he's playing these past couple weeks.
That's two back-to-back stops right there.
Absolutely, by Keys himself. So way to come out and play tonight.
And especially a crucial stop because if he wouldn't have been there, we don't know, that could have been a touchdown.
Absolutely, especially the last run by Johnson.
And now Johnson still in shotgun formation with Littlejohn next to him. Man in motion. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper by Johnson, but he's stuffed by the Trojan defensive line.
Oh, and there was a fumble on that play as well.
But play recovered by the Raiders.
It looked like Peak was in there on the initial tackle.
Johnson on the quarterback keep recovers his fumble. Noah Leahy with the tackle and forced fumble.
Oh, so that was a forced fumble there by Noah Leahy.
3rd down and 10 for the Raiders.
Got a pretty packed house here for California. Cornell side, it's a little far away, so not too packed for them.
Yeah, that's the thing about California faithful. They always come out and support every night.
It's a pass, and it's caught, and trucks a defender and gets down and brought around 15-yard line there.
Yeah, that was Johnson to Littlejohn. That was a great screen pass there.
First down,
I'm really amazed on some of these play calls here tonight by both coaches. That was a really nice play design there for a screen over the middle and picked up. Yeah, that was freshman Brandon Meyer there on the stop too. I'm excited to see how he plays and progresses this season as well. As only a freshman starting here at corner for the Trojans.
First and 10 Raiders from the 15-yard line.
Now Johnson in there, and shotgun formation still with Littlejohn next to him. It's a rush, and he's going to be taken down by number 50, Noah Leahy, gets the first sack of the game for the Trojans.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, Cornell, they're going to have to be aware of where Noah Leahy is at any time, especially if you're going to run right into him. So you got to be aware of where he is.
And 2nd down and 12.
And I'm certain that'll count as a sack because he didn't start his forward motion.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely going to count as a sack there for the senior Noah Leahy.
Now Johnson in the backfield, still in shotgun formation. I think it's more of a shotgun offense there, and he drops back to pass, and he's gonna be completed, but not before a flag comes down after the play.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, and we have a flag on the play. I wonder what that's going to be there. I think it's going to go against the California Trojans.
And that could really determine how long a game goes.
Yeah, and also
it's going to be a roughing the passer on the defense.
Yeah, and that was a great sell there by the Cornell quarterback there. And I think that was on Noah Leahy getting there a little late. And Cornell, it looks like they switched quarterbacks as well. I think they're going with MJ Stuckey, so he's now the quarterback there for the Cornell Raiders.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 50 in the defense. That's a 50, half the distance to the goal, first down.
So it'll be half the distance to the goal.
Yeah,
and you could see.
It's a great call there for Cornell as well to be now in, scoring position now, with it now being first from their own 9-yard line.
And you can see Coach Mangus walking on the field yelling at everyone.
Yeah, let's see if the Trojan defense will be able to stand tall here with their backs against the wall.
And it's going to be a pitch, number 20. And he's taken down by number 10.
Johnson on the carry. Chase Szymanski on
That's Chase Szymanski.
Yeah, that was a great tackle there and stop Johnson from being able to, turn around and hit the other side of the field there. So great stop there by Szymanski.
And Szymanski had an all-star year last year, being a sophomore.
Yeah, and that's another thing about this California team is a lot of guys are young on the team, and they're mixed with young and old. And I think that's going to be good for their future as well.
Stuckey and hands it off. He's going to be taking the fumble.
That's going to be another fumble there forced by the Trojans.
And the Trojans recover the fumble. What a stop by the Trojans. That is key there for the Trojans.
Yeah, that's a great stop there. And like I said, California, their defense will always bend but will never break. So that's a great stop there by California now to change possession.
Now quarterback Logan Hartley comes back onto the field. It's almost like that personal foul by Noah Leahy was kind of erased there.
So I'm very, very excited to see how California comes out now for their second possession on the night.
.354 left to go here in the first quarter.
All right, now here comes Hartley in the Trojan offense. Hartley will be close up under center with Peak. And it's another fumble, and they recover it for the touchdown, Cornell Raiders.
Wow, that's a great play there by number 2 for the Cornell Raiders, Littlejohn, as they were able to force another turnover there, and that's a costly mistake for the Trojans there, and I hope that they don't let that linger on for the rest of the night. That was a great play there by Cornell.
And truly, I stuck my binoculars up, and as soon as I stuck them up, they already had the fumble.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play there by Cornell. But at the same time, I think California now knows that they have to probably go a little bit of shotgun to give Hartley some time and some space as well to be able to do the things he needs to do and be able to help this offense be a little bit more successful.
Yeah, I mean, he was close up under center, and usually you would think it'd be a run, and it's a pass by and it's tipped. What a great play there.
Yeah, that was a great stop there for the Trojans there for the 2-point conversion. Now our score being California Trojans 8, Cornell Raiders 6.
Your score with 3:50 to go here in the first quarter.
But like I was saying, they need to give him time back there.
Cornell 6.
Mainly what I would do is have Hartley in the center and Peak and Landon on the side of him. But
yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing, too. Whenever you go under center and you're moving around a lot as a quarterback doing fakes and stuff like that, it gives the defense a lot of time. And then, you're putting a lot of stress on your offensive linemen as well, especially your tackles who are more bigger guys and can't move. So, yeah, that's going to be an issue for California. They might have to go into a little bit of shotgun formation here, but we'll see what Ed Woods and his staff have drawn up going here.
Truly, it's kind of ironic because there was 2 back-to-back fumbles.
Yeah, and that's very rare, but that's a very, very great play there by Cornell.
Joe and Cheryl Reinhardt. Chief Jim Smith, California Borough Police Department. The Hartley family, Morton family.
Looking at another score from last week's Whitfield matchups, the Avella Eagles beat Mapletown in a section matchup 41-6. Jeff Morgan Rockets beat Chartiers Houston Buccaneers 42-7. And the Monessen Greyhounds beat Charleroi Cougars 44-0.
Yeah, and I think Monessen's going to be one of those single A teams they're going to have to watch out for, especially whenever they get Tyvon Kershaw back as well. That team's going to be a very dangerous team here in single A.
And I've watched some of Kershaw's film. He looked electric when he was on the field.
Absolutely. That's Szymanski there taking that kick.
And he got some open grass. And he's still on his feet down to about the 49-yard line. What a return by Szymanski there.
Absolutely. Szymanski having a great year so far. Second game of the season, having a great year. Hopefully that continues for him as we have a flag on the play here.
And that usually becomes in a lot of high school football games, a lot of flags.
Absolutely, especially here in single A. So, and plus it's still early in the season. A lot of kids are still making a lot of those, mental mistakes that we like to say. So hopefully they get things cleaned up here.
And Hartley close up under center with Peak behind him. Hartley the snap. Give us to Peak. And there goes Peak, bullying through the line and gets trucked by a couple of Cornell defenders.
Yeah, that was number 17 there, Pettis for the Cornell Raiders there on the stop on the big running back there for California.
Number 17, Terrell Pettis on the tackle for Cornell. Along with number 2, Latte Littlejohn. 2nd down and 5 for the Trojans.
Hartley still close up under center.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be against the Trojans there. Number 52 there for the Trojans jumped before the ball was
Final
snapped.
snap. False start. 52 in the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, and like we were just saying about having those mental mistakes there for the Trojans now.
That's going to be on Colton Loudon. Currently around the Whipple, mostly 0-0, but currently Seneca Valley is beating North Hill, the North Hill Indians, 14-0. And the Upper St. Clair Panthers are beating Cannon McMillan Big Macs 6-0. And a rush.
That's number 6, Logan Hartley on the quarterback heat. Picks up about 4 yards.
Yeah, and a lot of interesting games going around tonight for not only the Whipple but also just single A as well. As we have Vanessa Greyhounds traveling to West Green tonight as well. I wonder, that's probably going to be a huge game there for Vanessa to really test if they're going to be the team to beat here in single A and move themselves up in the rankings here tonight.
Hartley still close up under center, and the give is again to Peak. There goes Peak, and he's still on his feet. Wow! My goodness, he cannot be tackled.
Yeah.
What an explosive run there, Damani.
Absolutely. Like we said earlier, it's going to take multiple defenders to bring down Malachi Peak. And if you would have watched at the end of that last play, him and Johnson for Cornell were kind of bickering a little bit back and forth. So I think that was his way of, just letting his pads talk there. So that was a great run by the senior Malachi Peak.
That was a little bit of fuel there.
Yeah, and like I said, he reminds me of another guy that wore the number 1 that runs the same way, that takes multiple defenders to bring him down here in the California burgundy and gold.
Waynesburg is playing Jefferson Morgan, which was another amazing matchup last year. Jeff Morgan coming out on top.
Yeah, and Jefferson Morgan won the Tri-County South last year. Very, very good team, very talented, especially with their quarterback, Houston Guzman, who's now playing wide receiver there for the California Vulcans right down the road here. So, yeah, very, very talented kid, and he led his team to a very, very good season as well.
And another player that's really and another player, Damani, that's really stepped up is Deacon DeHoet. I've seen him run track. I've seen him play last week. He actually beat our star runner Lee Kwok in a 100-meter dash.
Absolutely, that's another great athlete over there for them. So very excited to see how they do this year and how they progress. And like we keep saying, it's still early. It's only week 2 here for most teams. This is their first game of the season. So.
And currently, Aliquippa is beating Bell Vernon 14-7. South Park is beating Deer Lakes 14-7. And Greater Latrobe Wildcats are beating Plum Mustangs 7-0. Highland Golden Rams 7-7 against Elizabeth Forward. And one final score. We have the Hempfield Area Spartans 14 to Franklin Regional 0.
Yeah, and another game to be, keep your eyes on here tonight is Aliquippa versus the Bell Vernon Leopards. So that'll be a great game to establish some seeding there in 4A early in the season. And like I said, I'm happy that a lot of the top teams are playing each other early in the season to be able to get their feet wet a little bit before going into playoffs.
And there he goes. That looks like Alan Dennis. Wow! What a run, and can he go all the way? Oh my goodness! And a touchdown by the Trojans. That was incredible, Damani.
Absolutely. That's sophomore there, Alan Dennis. And listen, I knew that kid, he was going to take the next step this year and can be something special here for the Trojans. A transfer from right across over the bridge in Brownsville. So I know Ed Woods is very happy right now to have him on his team, as he just had a really, really nice run and not being able to be brought down by anybody.
And I can tell you what, Damani, he's one of my good friends, and I've been talking to him in class a lot. And he truly, all he wants is just to win.
Absolutely. He's a talented kid. He's a very humble kid and very respectable kid as well. So bright future for him.
Very.
Sure, here in the Burgundy Bowl here for the Trojans.
Also some new score updates coming in. Norwin is currently beating Kiski 14-0.
Terrence Collington on the tackle for Cornell. Your score is 1:47 left to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, we have now
14.
1:47 left here in the
Cornell
first
6.
quarter with the Trojans up 14 and Cornell Raiders 6.
I mean, from last year, this is already a big improvement. We only scored 3 points last year, and coming into it, we didn't know what Cornell had because we haven't played them in 4 years.
Absolutely, and that's another thing too, is I like the way how the Trojans are coming out and playing tonight. And, you know, like we said, they had some costly penalties earlier. We had the fumble for a touchdown. I like how they responded there with the touchdown by Alan Dennis. So hopefully California will stay with the momentum here and be able to stop
Big
Cornell.
Dave's Pizza, D&B Environmental, Howard Concrete Pumping,
And currently, looking at it,
Alex and Joyanne Bradley,
another shocker as of now.
Dean Korber, Howard,
Central Valley Warriors are currently beating Thomas Jefferson 14-0, and Thomas Jefferson, I tell you what, they're currently in the runnings for one of the best teams in PA right now.
Oh, absolutely. And TJ always keeps themselves a great team. And Central Valley had a couple down years there a couple years ago, but it looks like they're bringing themselves back to relevance here again. So that'll be a great game to also keep your eyes on.
Khalil Johnson back to receive along with Terrence Collington.
Neshannock's another team to look out for this season in the WPIAL playoffs for 1A. And it's a low kick, a little bit of a squibber there. And whoa! Oh, he gets out of it, and still not down, but now down. Looks like that was Aiden Keys there.
Yeah, and that was a return there by Littlejohn as we have a Cornell Raider down.
Littlejohn on the return. Tackled by Sidney Mikolos, number 8.
Oh, Sidney Mikolos actually got in there on that one. Aiden Keys, went up there and helped him too. But we got an injury on the play.
Yeah, that looks like that is number 2, Littlejohn there, down for the Cornell Raiders. That'd be a huge loss if he isn't able to get up on his feet here.
And one of the star matchups of the week is Pine Richland versus the Central Catholic Vikings. They are on top of 6A football right now.
Absolutely, and that is another great game to watch as well.
Pine Richland, they were amazing last year, and so were Central Valley.
Yeah, and those are always two powerhouses here in southwestern PA to watch in the Pittsburgh area. So,
I mean, truly, I was watching a podcast with Rob Gronkowski the other day, and he was saying whenever he came here to play, he said this keeps up there with Texas and California and Florida.
Absolutely. That's another thing is Southwestern PA is establishing itself as one of the better states here for high school football. So I definitely put us up there with California, Texas, and Florida as well.
And I mean, you got one of the top-ranked schools in the nation in St. Joseph's Prep out in Philly area.
Absolutely. We're also home to the number 1 running back in the country as well for Kimon Spell out of McKeesport. So we always keep one of the top running backs or top defensive players every year here in the state of Pennsylvania. So, yeah, we're definitely bringing ourselves up there to crack the top 5 for states in terms of high school football.
And another player to watch out for is Matt Sieg. He's just coming off another WPIAL championship. They snuck by Clarion 21-20. And taking it out to the outside on the jet sweep. And he's finally taken out of bounds. Short gain there, about 5 yards.
Yeah, that was a great run there by Johnson there for the Cornell Raiders. And like we said, we knew that Cornell was going to come out and try to establish using their speed here against California. So
And the Trojan defense has done such a good job so far.
absolutely, they're containing very well. So
Looks like there's a timeout on the field. Looking at some of the NFL play, looking at the Steelers, who they will play next week or next Sunday. They will take on the Aaron Rodgers' old team, the Jets. And truly, when I was watching the preseason games this season, I thought Skylar Thompson did amazing, really.
Oh, see, I'm not a huge fan of Pittsburgh, so I stay away from whatever they're on. But I think that'll be a great game for them to open up, especially for Aaron Rodgers to play against his old team, and also for Justin Fields to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. So I think that'll be a great game and a great watch for next Sunday, Pittsburgh versus New York.
And then for college, Pitt will take on Duquesne in their yearly like rivalry, I guess you can say, matchup.
Yeah, and that game hasn't happened in a couple decades now, so that's great that they were able to bring that back as well. So I think that'll be another great watch, and I think another great watch will be whenever Pitt plays against West Virginia in the backyard brawl. And I'm happy they also brought that game back, man, because that brings out a lot of people, and
big money maker for the colleges.
Absolutely.
And I truly love that Pitt gets to play in Steelers Stadium because it's crazy how you can see Penn State and they have one of the biggest stadiums in literally the world right now.
Yeah.
Them and Michigan have
absolutely, and a lot of people have told me that it's not the best to try to play in Beaver Stadium or up there in Michigan. So,
and you saw even with Michigan having a big old stadium a couple years ago, there was that famous play where they got jumped offside or they couldn't snap the ball because they couldn't hear.
Absolutely.
Shotgun formation. It's a pass across the middle of the field, and it's dropped incomplete there.
That pass is incomplete.
Yeah, that was Johnson throwing to Lamb there as he wasn't able to. Actually, that was Stuckey that threw that to Lamb there, excuse me. If they weren't able to connect for a huge play there, that would have been for the Cornell Raiders there to establish some momentum for themselves offensively as the clock stops here again.
It's only 1:30, about 1:30 to go. It's 3rd down and 6. They're on the 30-yard line. So Cornell looking to get a big drive here before the end of the quarter. And shotgun. And he almost got sacked there. And he's going to pass it deep. And Alan Dennis with the interception! Can he go? Still on his feet. Taken down at the 30-yard line. Wow, what a play there by Dennis, but a flag on the play.
Absolutely. Another huge play there by the sophomore Alan Dennis.
And it's almost ironic because last week on Friday he had another kickoff return, and he did that here against Sarah Catholic, which was insane to see in person.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, this kid has a very bright future here.
Pushing it back, number 50, and a return team. That'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
So it'll be another another flag on Noah Leahy there, illegal block in the back. But I feel like they'll still manage, and only 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so that'll be on like the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and back to Alan Dennis, man. He's going to be a great athlete here, and he's just a great all-around kid here. I spent some time with him over the summer, and I think he's going to have a huge sophomore season, as we can tell right now tonight, already having a touchdown and having an interception here for the Trojans. Yeah, now the Trojans are going to start in Cornell territory here.
Hartley close up under center. It's a give to Peak, and Peak still bowling through. Wow.
Yeah, we have another flag there as well.
But just what a way to get through that line there.
Oh, absolutely. And like we keep saying time and time again, you're going to have multiple people to bring down Peak.
He kind of reminds me of your boy, Derrick Henry.
Oh, absolutely there for the Baltimore Ravens.
Personal foul, face mask, number 74 in defense.
And that
15-yard penalty. First down.
And that was on Oronje Morris. Sorry if I mistake that name, but it's going to be a big penalty, and that's going to give the Trojans another first down.
Absolutely. That was and like we keep saying, it's so early in the season to where, kids are still out here making simple mistakes. Penalties are going to happen, early and often here, and hopefully the teams can, clean it up a little bit after halftime, after a talk with their coaches. Because now we're reaching almost a minute here in the first quarter as the Trojans are up 8 points.
And they're about on the 25-yard line, and Hartley still close up under center. Oh, no, he's in shotgun, and there he goes again. He's sticking to his feet and tackled by a herd of – tackled there by a massive bundle of Cornell Raiders there. And actually on Thursday, September 4th, Cal U Vulcans will take on the number 14 Charleston. Take on number 14 Charleston there.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game for the Vulcans to open up with. And like Coach Gary Dunn said, having 3 straight home games for the Vulcans as a young team is going to be very good for them to establish their feet here, especially playing against a playoff team a year ago in Charleston, who also their running back was nominated for the Harlan Hill. I don't know. I can't remember if you won it or not, but the Harlan Hill basically is the version, D2's version of the D2 Heisman there. So, yeah, and I think the Vulcans will come out and have a great season again, like always.
And that is the end of the first half, actually, or first quarter, actually. Your score with the Trojans 14 and Cornell Raiders 6. And then looking at week 4 for the Vulcans, they take on it's a PSAC championship rematch between Slippery Rock and Cal U.
Yeah, absolutely. And that game last year, playing in being a part of the Vulcan team last year, whenever we played against Slippery Rock for homecoming, that was a very great game for us. We started out early. I know our first offensive possession, our first play went for, I think it was 75 yards for a touchdown. And, we just, put our feet on their neck and didn't let up. And, it was a great game for us. But later playing them in the, quarterfinal semis in the national playoffs and losing to them, it kind of stung a little bit. So I think the Vulcans are going to be very, trying to have their vengeance out against Slippery Rock, like always. And it's always a great game whenever you have the Vulcans and Slippery Rock playing. And even whenever Slip plays IUP or the Vulcans play IUP, it's always going to be a great game because those are always the, the top dogs there in the PSAC West.
Seems like Slippery Rock, Seton Hill, and IUP, and then California are always up at the top.
Yeah, and another team to look out for here in the PSAC, now that we're on that topic, is Seton Hill with their running back Kyron Craigett out of Connellsville, Uniontown area. He's already on every watch list right now, so he's going to be a great running back there.
I truly do think he could win running back of the year he could be the I truly do think he could be the best running back in the PSAC.
Absolutely. And it's always going to be a toss-up with him and Bobby Boyd as well for the Vulcans. So Hartley,
close up under center, gives to Abercrombie. Abercrombie spins out of a tackle, breaks another tackle, and can he get the first down? Taken out of bounds.
On the rush, brought down by a host of Raiders.
I don't know if he got the first down. We're going to see.
Yeah, that was a great run there by Landon there, not being able to be brought down by just only one
first down for the Trojans.
And that'll be a first down. They enter the red zone here.
Yep, now we're in first and goal here for the Trojans. And now they're in an opportunity here to go up by 2 possessions early in the game.
Which would be very key for the Trojans here, as they're going to need all the ground they could get against a tough Cornell team.
Absolutely.
Penalty maybe, and it looks like it's going to be on the Trojans. Another false start.
False start, 52 in the offense.
Yeah, that's another call there on Colton Loudon for the Trojans. So yeah, it looks like we got a lot of penalties here early for the Trojans,
which could either be a blessing or a curse.
Absolutely. Hopefully they don't let it, continue building, because you can lose a lot of games there with penalties.
Hartley close up under center with Abercrombie and Peak. He gives Peak. Peak, there he goes! And a touchdown for the Trojans once again. And as you said, that is much needed here for the Trojans.
Absolutely. Now that puts the Trojans up by 14 points. So that was a great run there as well by the senior Malachi Peak, who's, starting his senior campaign off very, very strong here for the Trojans.
Getting 2 touchdowns last game, and now he's got 1 this game.
Yeah, so and another thing that I'd like to say about the Trojans is that, what we like to call sharing the sugar. They share the ball very well. It's not just one guy or 2 guys. Anybody on this team can score at any given time here for the Trojans. So very, very excited to see how much they can improve from us.
Now here comes the Trojans. They're going to go for 2 here. And Hartley goes up under center. Gives it to Peak. No, he's going to quarterback keeper. And he's going to be taken down. No real hurt there.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, I think I wasn't able to tell if that was a pass or a design run there. It looked like he was trying to find his receiver out there, but he
just had to take it himself.
Yeah, he had to take it himself. So very smart play, not trying to throw an interception here on a 2-point conversion. So great call there by Logan Hartley.
Score, 10:59 left to go in the second quarter. California 20, Cornell 6. On the return for Cornell, brought down by number 8. It'll be first down and 10 for California. For Cornell. Johnson on the rush, flag on the play.
All right. Welcome back here, folks.
Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Yeah, so too many people on the line of scrimmage there for the Cornell Raiders after a huge gain there by Johnson there. But gets now called back for the Cornell Raiders, as now they're struggling now a little bit, not being able to, stack plays and stack momentum for themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the biggest part of football. I mean, you just got to make sure you stay focused. Do not get any fouls. But there's going to... I mean, truly, from what I've seen already, Cornell looks like their running game is very strong.
It is, and I think tonight that the jitters are a little high for them, and they just have to be able to calm down and be able to relax themselves and establish.
Drops back to pass, and he's going to be pressured. Gets out of the pressure, and can't get to him. Wow, he breaks free, and finally taken down around the 44-yard line there.
Stuckey on the rush.
Yeah, that was a great run there by Stuckey and a great tackle there by Keys. And it looks like Stuckey there for the Cornell Raiders is a little shaken up, so I think we're going to have Johnson back in at quarterback, who seems to be their most wildcat quarterback there in a way.
And looking at a big update, the Trinity Hillers really took charge against the McGuffey Highlanders. It's currently 28-0. Last quarter was it was 0-0, but
yeah, it looks like Trinity's able to figure themselves out a little bit and establish a big lead there for against McGuffey, who's also a pretty good team there in 2A.
currently Leechburg is beating Tri-County South Best Center Bulldogs 15-0 in the first quarter. And Brownsville, sorry, just refreshed on us, but Brownsville is currently getting beaten.
Yeah, and they're playing against St. Clairsville out of Ohio, who's I think they won the state championship for the past 5 years now. So, yeah, Brownsville scheduled themselves a tough one there in week 2. Well, week 1, excuse me.
And it's going to be a pass. He's going to be pressured out to his right. Peak, can he get there? Still can't be brought down. And he's going to break free, but not before.
And that's an open defender there. I mean, an open player there.
What a pass there.
Yeah, that was a great play there by Johnson. I was looking a little bit like Lamar Jackson there, running around the pocket and be able to find an open teammate there. Number 5 there, Terrence Collington there. So, great way for Collington to almost run the scramble drill a little bit there. And a great throw and scramble by Johnson for the Cornell Raiders.
They're going to play personal foul against the defense, a shot in the head. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Yeah, as we have another penalty there against the Trojans that will now be enforced on the kickoff. So now Cornell's going to be able to, pen California deep there.
Kind of got blinded by the sun, so I didn't get to see all of that play, but from what I heard from Damani, that was an amazing play there. And now going for the 2-point conversion here, try and get the score a little closer for the Cornell Raiders.
That's number 12, Drake Barr there for the Cornell Raiders to kick it.
And like we were saying earlier, for Brownsville, tell you here after this kick, the St. Clairsville Red Devils are currently beating them 28-0 in the first quarter. Looks like Uniontown already played, and they won 12-8.
Yeah, I'm very curious on how that game's already over, and the score was only 12-8.
And how Keystone Oaks also played, if you look there. Yeah, Keystone Oaks lost to Quaker Valley 23-7.
Yeah, so it looked like we had a couple early games here tonight.
And then Bentworth is currently tied up with Burgettstown 14-14. I mean, Bentworth might be a little bit of a sneaky team this year. And he sets up the kick.
Yeah, that's Drake Barr there again for the Cornell Raiders to kick it.
Barr, the kick. And it's blocked! Blocked by the Trojans! That was Noah Lehue. Wow, what a play there.
Yeah, hold your cards, though, there. We have a flag on the play.
California 20, Cornell 12.
And it looks like they're going to come right back out. I mean, what a play just to get right through with with Noah Leahy getting through that line, but it looks like it's going to get called back.
Personal foul, roughing the snapper on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Play again.
And I mean, sucks, but it's gonna happen. There's gonna be flags. There's gonna be penalties.
And I'm surprised that Cornell's gonna sit here and tee up for a kick again instead of going for 2 here. So
and Barr again, a high snap, and he's gonna have to take it, but he's gonna get taken down way in the backfield. So that penalty did not matter.
Absolutely not. That's another great stop there by the senior Noah Leahy. And like I was saying, I was surprised that Cornell wouldn't just go for 2 points after seeing their kick getting blocked there.
Yeah, I mean, they have an offense to do it, but apparently I think they had other options.
Absolutely. Is now with 9 minutes and 47 seconds to go here in the second quarter, your California Trojans 20 and your Cornell Raiders 12.
And looking at Jeanette, another 1A Whipple team, they're currently losing to Apollo Ridge Vikings 0-7. Steel Valley's currently beating Washington 7-0. Thomas Jefferson answered back with 6 points against the Central Valley Warriors. And the Trojans will be deep here in their own backfield, or in Cornell's backfield for this kickoff. And Peters Township is currently beating McKeesport 14-0 in the second quarter.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, McKeesport is home to the #1 running back in the country in Keemon Spell. So very good that the Peters Township Indians are able to contain him, it looks like, as they haven't scored yet here tonight.
And, you know, Peters Township, every year they are just one of the top teams in that division.
Absolutely. Peters Township, Upper St. Clair are always one of the teams to beat there.
It's almost like those two teams butt heads. That's almost like a California versus Bass Center rivalry there with Upper St. Clair.
Absolutely.
And yeah, a couple of our returners are set up on the 10-yard line.
Yes, if I'm Cornell here, I'm doing a little bit of a pooch kick somewhere in the middle.
And they move back even farther to the 5-yard line.
Yes, now Cornell's kicking from California's 45-yard line here.
Which that was a costly penalty there for the Trojans to get that loss.
Yeah, and that's number 75, Kenny Wade, there to kick off for the Cornell Raiders.
And now they move one guy up to the middle of the pack just to get a little bit of, and Peak fumbles it, and he's still on his feet. Come on, Peak. Still bullying through. My goodness, he looks like Derrick Henry out there, Damani.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great run there by Malachi Peak there. And way to, turn bad field position into good field position there for the Trojans.
And truly, I mostly think some of that strength comes from wrestling. Great wrestler for Bass Center.
Yeah, and that's a thing that people have said often is that
Noah Leahy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of your good football players also have wrestling backgrounds. As you can see, a lot of guys that are drafted here in the NFL and stuff like that, or in college, they're have history playing
wrestling.
Yeah, competing in wrestling.
And now Hartley close up under center there with Peak and Abercrombie behind him. Hartley. And a give is to Peak. Peak.
No, that's a give. Hartley actually kept that there as there's another flag there.
Almost so hard to tell up here, up in the press box. I think that penalty might go on the Trojans here.
During the play, holding 22 to the offense. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
That's going to be on Braden Crockett, the sophomore.
Yeah, that's on Crockett there. As we have a Trojan down there on the far side of the field towards the Cornell sideline. Yeah, and it looks like Hartley's down. And I think if Hartley's down here and California chooses to run a play, they're going to have to go with the freshman Brandon Meyer. I think is going to be a great quarterback and a great leader here for California in years to come. Yes, Hartley's able to walk off on his own.
But I do believe they're going to go with Brandon Meyer here for a couple plays just to See if Logan Hartley can regain here. You know, Brandon Meyer, he used to hold all the youth football records for quarterback, all the passing yards, passing touchdowns, rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I can ever have a comparison for him, he kind of reminds me of Johnny Manziel at his time at Texas A&M. So I'm very, very excited to see how he's getting his first couple snaps here early into the season here as only a freshman. I know we said he starts defensively at corner, but now getting able to play on the offensive side of the ball here. And hopefully, he's able to, lead the team here as well as Hartley did. So.
I mean, that's one of the biggest what-ifs I've ever had when it comes to professional football is Johnny Manziel. I mean, he looked electric in high school or in college, and even in high school too. He looked electric, but truly, it's just that big jump from the NFL from college to the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just a whole different ball game. As we see Meyer here in right now for the California Trojans under center.
Meyer, handoff to Peak, and Peak is going to be taken down by
Raiders. No gain on the play.
Yeah, and I like that play call there by California's coach Ed Woods to don't throw your young quarterback into the wolves there and just get his feet wet a little bit and give him a handoff for his first snap here in high school football. So let's see what he does here for a second play here for the California Trojans.
And Carter Frank jumps in for Eli Carpenter there, giving him a break off the field. And as you can hear on the other sideline, you could hear that's Cornell saying defense.
Yes, now we have Brandon Meyer here in shotgun formation with Peak to his right.
And it's going to be a quarterback keeper. There goes Meyer. Meyer still on his feet and gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's a great run there by the freshman Brandon Meyer. As we said, I mean, even whenever Johnny Manziel was able to run the ball and throw the ball. So
good pickup on the play. It'll bring up third down.
Let's see what California has dialed up for third and about 9 here.
And it truly looks like Brandon isn't scared to get in that. Truly looks like he's not scared to get in that pressure and all that defense.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like he's going to invite the contact and be able to do what he needs to do.
It's really one of the big things in freshmen you see is like they're not really scared of the hit, but they don't necessarily like it that much.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's a tough kid, so.
He's been working hard in the weight room.
Absolutely. And like I keep saying, his future's going to be bright for him, and I'm glad he gets to be able to, have an early start here in high school as only a freshman here, getting some snaps here early in their season.
And it's a good experience for him, too. I mean, it's a tough team, one of the toughest teams we're going to have to face this season.
Yeah, it looks like there was some miscommunication there by the Trojans.
So they're going to take a timeout.
Yes, I wonder what's going on with Logan Hartley now, as he hasn't been able to get back into the game, still getting looked out by the trainers here for California.
Tri-County Realty.
As it looks like the trainers are doing some concussion test on Hartley, so hopefully he's able to, continue this game. If not, prayers up for Logan Hartley.
And I currently think Alan Dennis is our third stringer at quarterback. He played a lot of backup quarterback last season.
Yeah, and another thing with Alan Dennis is he's just an athlete. The kid can play anywhere, any position. I know whenever I coached him over at Brownsville, he played a little bit of quarterback for us, so I know he's capable of doing that. And I think right now it looks like California is going to go with Brandon Meyer here at quarterback.
I think they're going to last with him. I think they're going to try and last with him throughout the rest of the first half and see what Hartley looks like in the locker room, and then see if Hartley's able to play in the second half. And Upper St. Clair is currently beating Cannon Mac 24-0. Laurel is beating Mohawk 10-6. Steel Valley still hasn't changed, 7-0. Elizabeth Forward's beating the Highland Golden Rams 21-0. Connellsville is losing to Medville 15-7. Central Valley's Thomas Jefferson actually answered. It's currently 13-14 as Brandon Myers in shotgun formation, and he looks to go with it. He's going to take it himself, and he passes And it's a first down, but whoa!
And that's a huge hit there by number 20, Johnson, for the Cornell Raiders.
It's a first down for California.
And now there's a player down on the field. And that was a terrible hit there.
Yeah, but just that's looking like that's number 2, Alan Dennis,
That is Alan Dennis.
shaken up. As we said earlier, he had a huge start. He now has an interception for the Trojans here tonight and a very long touchdown run here as well.
We would just like to give a thank you to the staff here tonight working today's game. Austin Alt working the camera up here in the booth. Vincent Roto working the computer. Joey DeBlasio working scoreboard, and LJ Pollock down on the field. And obviously, me and Damani Stafford working our commentary.
Absolutely, and a huge thank you to Trojan TV as well for inviting me back here tonight to be able to be a part of this broadcast and a part of this team. So thank you guys again.
Fouls on the play. We have illegal procedure against the offense. That penalty's declined. We have illegal man downfield. 5-yard penalty, number 61. That will be enforced.
Wow, no call on the defense for that one.
Yeah, I thought that would have been some type of targeting call there, excuse me, but now Trojans are now in a third and very, very long here, as now we have Brandon Meyer again under center here.
Thank you to the 87 viewers watching here. And Meyer's gonna try and run it there. And that looks like that's gonna bring up 4th down here for the Trojans.
And also Malachi Peak.
That's two crucial injuries here for the Trojans.
Yeah, especially losing your starting do-it-all back in Alan Dennis and your starting quarterback Logan Hartley. So,
and you know, last year Cornell was one of the tougher teams. They did play out there with a lot of aggression.
Absolutely, but then again, this is California being tested early into their season, seeing if they're able to. It kind of shows what the Trojans are made of, losing their starting running back and do-it-all running back and quarterback here early in the game, early in the season as well.
And now it looks like they're going to go with a punt.
And it looks like Myers there to punt.
Not too bad of a punt there.
Oh, and he gets a nice roll there as well.
Wow, what a roll. Gets him down inside the 25.
Yeah, great punt there by Brandon Meyer, who just stepped in for the California Trojans as their starting quarterback.
Looks like they're going to set him on the 23 there. And they're going to move it up a yard, I believe. We're going to see here in about 2 seconds. So, yes, they're going to put him at the 23-yard line. With about 6 minutes here to go in the first half, I mean.
Yeah,
it's
if you're Cornell here, you want to use up as much time as possible here and be able to score right before halftime and then get the ball right after halftime and be able to score again here.
At least even try to get that field goal.
Absolutely. It's all about possessions here in this game now. Now Cornell's only down by 8 points.
And I saw Cornell's kicker there before the game. He looked pretty good kicking wise. He was nailing them from about 25 to 20 yards.
Yeah, that's Stuckey there in shotgun formation with 2 backs to each side.
He's done really well. I mean, you said earlier, I definitely can see what you mean by him reminding you of Lamar Jackson there. And it's a handoff.
It's a handoff to Johnson as he tries to.
He'll break free from, I believe that was Peak back there.
Yeah, he was able to break a couple tackles there in the backfield. So if you're California and Cornell, because I've seen it happen a lot on both sides, is a lot of teams are doing what we like to call arm tackling, which you can't do, especially with these backs here tonight. You got to be able to wrap up and be able to tackle somebody here.
And just looking at Dennis, he's out of frame, but he looks a little shaken up on the sidelines. I mean, that was a hefty hit there that he took.
Absolutely.
Mangus calling him over here. Looks like there was a timeout. Just one thing we want to recognize is before they go back out on the field is thank you, Damani Stafford, for all you've done for the community here.
Foul, illegal helmet contact, number 50 at the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run.
Yeah, And that's another questionable call there by the officials here tonight against number 50, Noah Lehue again, as you can see him down there throwing his arms up like, what do you mean? What did I do?
And that was a late call there.
Oh, absolutely it was.
But as I was saying, is thank you for all you've done for the community and donations and giving kids book bags, pencils, etc., anything they need for the school year starting.
Absolutely, and I'm. One thing is, with all the fires and stuff that's happened with my family, it was really nice to be able to give back still to the community that's done so much for us. So, I mean, California will always argue and stuff like that, but whenever, it comes push to shove, California definitely stands up for everybody in the community. So a special thank you to the California community. And I think the next thing we have planned for my foundation is a toy drive for the kids that we're now planning. So hopefully we'll be able to get that out to you guys here shortly.
And it's a pass, and he dropped right over the middle, and that looks like that's going to be another flag, a late hit on the Trojans.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what this flag is. That's Dawson that dropped that pass there from Stuckey.
Well, it looks like they picked up the flag. I'm guessing they just pulled it back because he was already in motion and he can't stop. Yeah, it looks like they picked up the flag there. And, I mean, truly that's the biggest thing in the NFL that players get mad about is, like, if they're in motion or already at a full sprint, you can't stop on a dime.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one of the questionable things now in the NFL, and I get it. I mean, you got to think about it. A team could lose their starting quarterback and, not
literally
be the same
instant
team. So.
And, I mean, oh, here we go. We got a play here. Rush call, and if he can beat a defender, he might be gone, but he's taken out of bounds at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and that's a great run there by number 2, Little John, for the Raiders.
Brought down by number 9, Aiden.
Yeah, but like I was saying, though, with those roughing the passer calls, you got to be able to call those because, like I said, you could lose your starting quarterback.
And a timeout taken by Cornell, but. And another thing is, like, ever since that Ryan Shazier hit, they've kind of got more serious
That's
on.
your third and final timeout in first half.
Oh, actually, that was called on California, pointed in Cornell's way, but like ever since that Ryan Shazier hit where he got paralyzed, and then obviously the DeMar Hamlin hit, they've kind of got more stricter on how you hit.
And another thing, too, for any parents out there that are questioning whether their kids should play or not, their kids should play. Football is starting to be more safer than it's ever been.
The equipment is getting way better.
Absolutely, like that. That's another thing. Like your helmet, your shoulder pads, everything. You're protected from everything. So.
And it's not like you're getting old. It's not like you're getting old helmets and shoulder pads and everything. Yeah. Like they keep these well maintained, and they're after every season they they clean them off, they polish them, and give them new padding every year.
Absolutely. So that's another thing. Sports are becoming a lot more safer than years past.
And it's a screen pass, and he's just stuffed there. After he got hit, he didn't move an inch.
Yeah, that's a great tackle there by Keys.
Keys has been one of these defensive players of the game here for the Trojans.
Yeah, and that was number 3, Davion Collier there on the catch there for the Cornell Raiders there. Him and Stuckey were able to hook up there on that connection.
And I truly do think this has been one of the better games in recent years. It's just a dogfight. It's a dogfight, just going back and forth, back and forth.
Absolutely, and it looks like both these teams are in shape here as well. You don't see anybody, walking around. They're all hustling to the line.
And they know what they were in for. They knew this was going to be a dogfight, but they're sticking with it. And a man in motion there. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper. He's going to try and get through the line, but he's stopped by that Trojan herd there, as we like to call it.
Little John on the rush.
That was Little John there.
Brought down by Malachi Peak and Noah Lehue.
Yeah, and that was the tandem there. Noah Lehue and Malachi Peak.
2 of our best defenders there for California Trojans. Sorry about that, folks. A little bit of technical difficulties, but flag on the play. And
Broken up on Meyer.
And Brandon Meyer broke that pass up, but a flag down. We'll see what's going on here.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a legal man downfield there. If that motion was correct there by the far referee there towards California sideline.
And, yep, that is exactly what it's going to be. Whoa, it's going to...
Downfield, go to offense, number 51. That penalty's declined. It'll be third down.
Wow, they're going to decline the penalty.
Yeah, that's very smart there, because if not, California would have gave them another chance.
It's going to be third down here. And drops back to pass. And it's going to be a deep pass wide open in the end zone. And caught for the touchdown by the Cornell Raiders.
Yeah, and like I said in pregame, I thought the quarterback there for Cornell looked very sharp in his passing motion. So that's a great throw there by Stuckey to Johnson to be able to hook up for a very huge touchdown here right before halftime for Cornell.
And that brings them within 2 here. And, I mean, a lot better of a score from last year. I mean, the Trojans have been fighting.
Absolutely. This looks like we're going to be in for a great game here tonight. So. As it looks like Cornell's going to line up here for a 2-point conversion here to tie the ball game up right before halftime.
I mean, it's smart because they're trying to go for that win. I mean, they're going to try and do everything they can.
Absolutely. As now we see Stuckey here underneath center here.
And it's going to be a handoff, and he's going to get to the outside. Meyer can't catch him, and they bundle up, and that's a 2-point conversion. That ties up the game for the Cornell Raiders.
Yeah, that's a great run there by Johnson again, him and Stuckey have been huge here tonight, and Littlejohn as well for the Cornell Raiders. So
that's almost been like the dynamic duo for Cornell here.
Absolutely is now the score with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left is your California Trojans 20, Cornell Raiders 20.
And I mean, from last year, this was about the score in the third quarter where Cornell just took away or just broke away, and they got last year. I mean, Logan Hartley actually did get injured in that game too. I mean, it's kind of ironic though, in a bad way.
Yeah, and I'm as we can see here on the sideline, is we still have Alan Dennis and Logan Hartley both out for the Trojans, and like we said, that's a huge loss there for them. As you know, like I said, they're do-it-all gadget in Alan Dennis, and then your starting quarterback in Logan Hartley. So let's see if they're going to open up the playbook here a little bit for Brandon Meyer, the freshman, to come in and be able to, you know, have a name for himself in a way.
And as of right now, Burgettstown has pulled ahead for the Brentworth Bearcats, 20-14 currently in the second quarter. And Aliquippa has also pulled away from Bell Vernon. It's 20-7. South Park, it's currently 21-7. And yep, that's going to be all the scoring updates as of right now. And as you already may know, the Cornell Raiders will get the ball in the second half, so the Trojans are going to look for a score here before halftime, and that'll be much needed so it's going to be a fair catch.
Yeah, that was a great catch there by what it looked like number 66
Carter
there
Frank
for
on the reception.
yeah, that was Carter Frank there for the Trojans. As now we see number 4, the freshman Brandon Meyer, back in for California as their starting quarterback.
That was actually Austin Zemba there.
Oh, excuse me, Austin Zemba there.
Frank, I mean, he's a freshman. He gets in usually every 3 plays. Every third down, he's almost like as you see in the NFL, like a third down running back, but for like a lineman tight end slash. And now Meyer close up under center with 3 running backs behind him. and Meyer. And it's going to be given to Landon Abercrombie. And Abercrombie gets a solid run there. Gain of about 7 or 8 there.
Yeah, that's a great run there by Landon to be able to now make it second and manageable here for the California Trojans with 3 minutes left.
Braden Crockett initiated the tackle.
As now we see Meyer back underneath center here for the Trojans.
And it's going to be a gift to Peak. Peak bullying through that line. He's still going. And he dropped the ball.
Yeah, it looked like Peak fumbled there, and that it looks like that's picked up there by the Cornell Raiders here. As California now has struggled without their starting quarterback, Logan Hartley, and do it all back, Alan Dennis, as now we see Peak fumble there in a crucial part here in this game. As now Cornell will take possession. And it looks like Peak was just trying to do a little bit too much there for California.
And if you paid close attention, it looked like the defender had his hands all on the ball that Peak was carrying.
Yeah, that's a great punch out there and rip by Cornell to be able to get the ball back. So,
because Peak, I don't think he just couldn't get those hands back in to secure the ball.
Absolutely.
It's truly the biggest thing. I mean, there's nothing you could really do about it if the defenders got you pulled away from the ball.
Yeah, and as we've seen a lot of turnovers here tonight. I think that's the 3rd now for California and 2 for Cornell. So, but like we said, it's still early in the season, so a lot of these teams are still getting out the minor mistakes here. As we get a timeout by Cornell.
And the Woodland Hill Wolverines are still pulling away. It's currently halftime. It's 34-0 against the Penn Hill Indians. Trinity is up 35-0 against McGuffey. It's halftime. Clareton, wow. It is 54-0 against Sarah Catholic at halftime.
Yeah, as we see that, it looks like Clareton and Fort Cherry are going to be the teams to beat here again in single A as well.
Shadyside and Burnell are currently it's currently 24-20 in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's the Burrell Bucks there in Shadyside Bulldogs. They're in a tough one there in the second quarter.
South Park still at a comfortable lead at 21-7.
629 3725. See Tony Mariscotti at the concession stand.
And Avonworth is currently beating West Mifflin 30-0. Amani Christian and Beaver Falls haven't scored at all, which is still shocking me because Amani Christian just beat Clareton, who's beating Sarah Catholic, and drops back to pass. He's going to run it himself. Peak turns him around, and Lamar Jackson style throw wide open, and he's going to go all the way for the touchdown for the Cornell Raiders.
Yeah, and like I said, I was very impressed by how Stuckey warmed up.
And it looks like a cramp on the sidelines by number 9, Aiden Keys. And yeah, that's going to be a bad cramp. As soon as he jumped off, he just started jumping up and down and then eventually fell down.
Yeah, that was another great hookup there by Stuckey and Johnson there on the receiving end. So, like I said, I was very impressed on how Stuckey warmed up there in pregame, and he's having himself a game here tonight.
And Cornell is just going to go for one here. Looks like, yep, they're going to give it to Barr. Fox Chapel is currently beating Baldwin 24-0. And a lot of 0-0 matchups. Fraser and Mapletown 0-0. Waynesburg and Jeff Morgan still 0-0. Might have just not got score updates yet, but we will get you those as soon as they come out. Here on Channel 4, where they give live sports updates.
Yeah, it looks like Drake Barr is going to get another chance here to kick a field goal. Well, an extra point, excuse me, here for Cornell.
And
as we seen earlier, one got blocked and the other one, the snap went over the holder's head.
Another block here would be key for the Trojans, but they're going to need a lot of luck and a lot of skill to have that too, because it's rare. And now Keys walking to the sidelines after looking like a really bad cramp. Hartley and Dennis starting to get a little up and moving a little bit.
Yeah, I just seen Hartley try to go up to one of the coaches on the coaching staff and get up, and it looked like the coach pointed back to the bench to go sit back down. But it looks like Dennis is up and walking a little bit with a limp here. So very curious to see if they'll be.
And it's blocked again by number 50, Noah Leahy. And I just said that to Monty, that it was going to be key if they blocked that field.
Absolutely, as now the score is only 26, Cornell Raiders and your California Trojans 20.
And with 2 minutes, they have a lot of ground to gain to get back in this game before halftime, because like I said earlier, Cornell does get the ball back at halftime.
Absolutely, and another thing here for the Trojans now is being able to run the 2-minute drill. And I know this is something that Coach Ed Woods always runs every Wednesday and Thursday practice is the 2-minute drill. So hopefully Brandon Meyer got some reps in and he's able to execute it and get the California Trojans here to score right before halftime.
Which the 2-minute drill can either win you or lose you a game in football.
Absolutely. And if you're Cornell, you just have to keep playing how you're playing, keep punching and ripping out the ball. And if you're California, you got to hold on to the ball. So both tips there for both teams.
I mean, honestly, it's a big loss not having Alan Dennis there in that backfield for the kickoffs.
Absolutely, and he's a dangerous returner.
And Aiden Keys.
Yeah, so
it's now Hartley, Aiden Keys, and Alan Dennis are currently out for the game.
That's Szymanski
right
back there.
Looks like Szymanski and
number 3 there for California.
Eli
Carpenter. So
2 juniors. Eli Carpenter has really stepped up in last year's season. And the kick, it's going to be a short one, and he fumbles it, and I think it's going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, that went out of bounds right before Cornell. So that would have been another huge mistake there by California if Cornell was able to get that before. As you've seen, they were very close to getting it.
But it just happened to stumble out of bounds, which is almost like a saving grace for the Trojans, because that would have been crucial if the Trojans would have lost that there.
Absolutely. Now we see Meyer back in at quarterback here for California still. As Hartley went out with an injury 2 possessions ago for California.
I really do hope he can get back in there, because he's a big runner on our team, and he's a big key contributor. And now Braden Crockett in motion. Give us the Peak. Peak still bowling through that line. Gets a gain of about 4 or 5 there.
Absolutely. Now you'll see in this on this possession, Peak holding on to the ball a little tighter as he's fumbled twice now here tonight.
And now that Alan Dennis is out, I don't know who they go to if Brandon Meyer does get injured.
Yeah, I'm very concerned. Hopefully Meyer's able to stay healthy here for California and be able to, lead this team, like I said, the way Logan Hartley did as their starting quarterback here tonight.
And what I'm guessing is they'll probably go to like Landon or a Malachi just to step in there.
Absolutely. Coach Ed Woods will always figure something out.
Like you even saw last year, they had Nico Jorgen just go in there if Logan Hartley got injured or something happened. And now Meyer, the give, and it's a fumble.
And that's another fumble there by California, and that's number 22. Braden Crockett who fumbled there. As he gets up a little angrily.
That's Jones on the recovery for Cornell.
Yeah, like we said, man, now California now just stacking problems now, and that's something you can't have here. Especially in single-A football. You can't just continuously turn the ball over and expect to win a football game. As now Cornell has another chance to score with 1:35 seconds left to go here.
All I say is it's almost like my favorite play in Madden, 3 men up deep. You just send the hounds back there and make sure they don't pass.
Absolutely, but then again, you can't let him get too many
rushing yards, because then that could get him within scoring range, and it's going to be a run. And he's now taken down by a host of Trojans.
And that's a great run there by Littlejohn, as it looks like Stuckey's trying to hurry up and get his offense back lined up again. So they're going to be almost in a little bit of hurry-up offense.
Brought down by Abercrombie.
Abercrombie in there on the lead tackle, and now an injured player.
Yeah, it looked like Littlejohn was trying to tell his coach that his leg was bothering him a little bit. And I think he's just cramping up there.
And I mean, after that, I mean, he's been their lead guy all day. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he had a couple leg issues.
Yeah, Littlejohn has had himself a game here tonight. Him, Stuckey, and Johnson there for the Cornell Raiders.
Yeah, and I mean, Stuckey's just been able to go to his passing game, and he's been able to also go to his running game.
Absolutely. He's been able to outrun the California edge rushers and Noah Leahy and Malachi Peak there. So he's having himself a game here, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has over 150 yards passing here already tonight here, and that's shocking to say here in single A football.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Littlejohn is over 100 yards rushing this game too.
Absolutely.
And now Stuckey's still back there in shotgun formation. Stuckey, the snap, looks for a pass, and it's a short pass taken down there by Carter Frank.
Yeah, it looks like the receiver dropped it there.
Good breakup there by
for the Raiders.
Good breakup there by Carter Frank.
Yeah, that was number 11 there for the Cornell Raiders, Isaiah Dawson. And that's another thing. Cornell's dropped a lot of passes here tonight. So it's not just California making mistakes. Cornell's also making mistakes here that hopefully these teams, like I said, can get it fixed as the season goes on. And it looks like California's having trouble keeping their hands on the ball here tonight. So hopefully they can get things fixed.
And now Stuckey's still in shotgun. Looks like that's his move there. And he's going to pass, and it's a immediate pass. Jukes another defender, jukes two defenders, jukes three, and finally taken down, but not for another Cornell Raiders first down. 46 seconds here to go.
Yeah, that was number 3, Collier there again on the receiving end.
Collier on the reception.
But also, if you're Cornell, I'm not sure how many timeouts they have left, but you got to get out of bounds almost.
And the clock is still running there. They got one more timeout remaining, but Stuckey's still in shotgun. And they send the Hounds. They're going to send the Hounds in, and it's going to be way out of bounds.
Yeah, that was just over the head of number 5 there, Collington.
Might be a little bit of a hunch here, but I think he might have intentionally tried to do that because just to stop the clock, because now stopping at 30 seconds, they have time to think it over and see if they can get a touchdown here.
Absolutely. And now you'll be able to, put in your faster guys, your jump ball guys here now on this 2nd and 10 from about the 22-yard line here.
Truly, the Trojans defense has done a solid job here throughout this drive.
Absolutely. As now we see again Johnson out there lined up in trips.
And now Johnson looks for the jump pass. And he's going to try and get through. A little Tim Tebow style jump pass there.
Yeah, and that was Littlejohn. Now, if you're Cornell, you got to waste your final timeout here.
Or I'm wondering if they let the clock run out, but nope. Then they take the timeout with about 15 seconds to go here.
Yeah, so they got enough for one more play, hurry up, get out of bounds, and then another play right after that if they're fast enough. And like I said, man, I'm very impressed on how Stuckey has played here tonight. He shows a lot of patience there in the pocket. He doesn't scramble unless he needs to, unless, like he has the presence of Malachi Peak or Noah Leahy chasing after him. But other than that, man, if you just see the way he drops back, goes through his progressions, and delivers very nice throws to every receiver here.
And Coach Ed Wood's going over to Logan Hartley now, checking to see if he's okay, and also going over to Aiden Keys and Alan Dennis, because whenever Alan Dennis got hit, that was one of the fiercest hits I've seen in a long time and throughout all of high school football.
Oh, absolutely. That was a tough hit, and for him to be able to get up shows how tough that kid is as well.
And he got spun around there, and when he did get hit, he got spun around in the air.
Yeah, and if you're Cornell here, your best play has to be drawn up here for them to be able to score right here before halftime. And if they do, that's a huge momentum booster here as they were down early.
And I mean, it's already 8:30, and we're not even at the end of the second half yet. We're about to be, or the first half, I mean, excuse me. But now, looks like Johnson's in there again. Looking to pass, and they send the Hounds!
And that's a huge stop there by California right before halftime.
And Crockett getting his little revenge there, and that's going to be the end of the first half. Your score, Trojans 20, and in Cornell 26. We will be right back after halftime, but first enjoy the Trojan and Cornell marching band.
Stay tuned for both bands' halftime show, Cornell first and California second. Thank you.
Leading the Raiders on the field tonight is Drum Major Shaylee Barrett. Joining her in leadership are Color Guard Captain Vanessa Bizzetti, Drumline Captains Logan Pfister and Luna Coyle, Woodwind Captain Zoe Kazmarek, High Brass Captain Michael Ricketts, and Low Brass Captain Mariah Rohrbach. Tonight's performance kicks off with a smash hit that everyone will love dancing to, Uptown Funk. Drum Major and Color Guard Captain, is the band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Cornell Raider Marching Band. jumping blocked out of heaven. Close out the show, the band takes dramatic turn with Bruno Mars's powerful ballad, Grenade. Please give a big round of applause for the Cornell Raider Marching Band.
led on the field tonight by our 2 senior drum majors, Miss Allie Grods and Mr. Tyler Sutherland. Allie and Tyler, is your band ready? gentlemen, the California Trojan Marching Band. Trojan Band staff includes Director Mr. Daniel Zipman, Assistant Director Mr. Robert, the Coach Guard, Instructor Mrs. Allison Carlisle, Brass Instructor Mr. Jeremy Bellinger, Co-Brass Instructor Mr. God bless and go Trojans!
Where's that?
All right, folks, welcome back here to Trojan football. It's the second half. And the kick is up and away. It's going to be Cornell. Take it back. Still running, still on his feet. Taking out about the 41, 42-yard line.
On the return.
Yeah, that was number 5, Collington. And everybody, welcome back to the second half.
Tackled by number 61.
As that first half was a very interesting first half there for both teams. A lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes. Hopefully both teams here can fix that going into the second half here tonight.
And I've got confirmation that Logan Hartley is out for most likely the rest of the game with a concussion.
Yeah, so we'll see number 4, Brandon Meyer, step in for him, the very talented freshman here for the California Trojans.
He's still going to be on the sidelines, but I'm guessing he's not going to have his helmet on. Looks like Aiden Keys and Alan Dennis are back up and moving well again.
Yeah, that's huge for both Keys and Dennis here to continue this game here tonight for California. Those are 2 very talented receivers, running backs, DBs there for California.
Looks like Johnson's still in there at QB. And then snap to Johnson. He tries to find a hole. Taken down by the herd of Trojans.
Yeah, and as we said before, that was actually Stuckey in there at quarterback. So I think Cornell's going to slow things down here a little bit with the lead here in the second half with a chance to go up by 2 touchdowns. So let's see what their play calling here is like. I know in the first half we've seen them air the ball out a lot between Johnson. Dawson got in there a little bit, and Littlejohn ran and caught the ball a little bit as well. So.
And another one gets taken down by about two defenders there. It looked like Landon Abercrombie got the initial tackle.
Yeah, that was number 5, Collington there now, and at quarterback for the Cornell Raiders. So.
They'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for Cornell. All will be placed at the 49.
And, you know, Coach Woods probably gave them a motivational speech, we'll say, in the locker room.
Oh, absolutely. You can see California standing tall here a little bit on 3rd and short here, as that's Collington again.
Collington, and it'll be taken down. I don't know if he got the first down or not.
Yeah, no, it looked like he was probably a yard or 2 shy there, as now we're going to have 4th and manageable here for Cornell, and it looks like they're going to send Stuckey back in at quarterback, and I'm not really sure on why they run a lot of Wildcat. I mean, it looks like Stuckey's able to run the ball and throw the ball a lot, so I don't know why they keep putting in people like Johnson and Collington there back at quarterback there. Very confusing, but I guess that's just how they, try to catch people off guard here a little bit, as now we have Stuckey underneath center.
And now here's a play where, yep, there it is, I would say. But the Trojans coming back up strong on defense. I was going to say there that they were going to try and go for a tush push there.
Yeah, and that's a huge stop, as now you see California now has the momentum, and you can never put anything down.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. And Dennis was actually in the ball game. So I don't know currently what's going on right now at the moment, but it looks like they're gonna try and determine where this ball is. I didn't see him get over that line.
Yeah, it looked like he was really short. You can tell it was very short. It wasn't even close, honestly.
I'll take a look here with the binoculars. And yeah, it looks like he's about half an inch short. Yeah, it looks like he's short there. But let's determine and see what the refs are going to call here.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be California football here now with Meyer back into the game for California underneath center.
Good decision by the refs there, because even from up here in the press box, it didn't look like he got over the line.
Yeah, absolutely not. So great call by them to give California the football here.
And now it looks like Meyer
Yeah, and I'm hoping that California opens up the playbook here. Meyer is a very talented quarterback, can throw the ball very well, so let's see.
And now give is a triple option to Peak, and he's taken down for a big loss. And now Cornell expressing themselves out there on the field.
Yeah, and like we said about Brandon Meyer, him and Logan Hartley are kind of the same, but they're different at times as well. Both guys can run. I think Meyer probably just has a little bit more accuracy on balls, but Hartley has a lot more experience than what Meyer has here. So let's see if they, like I said, I hope they do open up the.
And Key's still on the sideline, and so is Dennis. They pulled him off after that defensive stint there. So we're going to see what they do here as Meyer's in shotgun. And it looks like it's going to be a run by Meyer. Meyer breaks free. Can he break it? And that's going to be a first down for the Trojans. What a play there by Brandon Meyer. I mean,
absolutely. And like I said before, he's a talented guy. And I keep saying, I hope they open up this playbook a lot for him. Be able to play to his strengths. He can, like I said, he can run and he can throw very, very well for being a freshman quarterback here.
I mean, in middle school, most of his track meets, because he ran track at middle school, he came in second most of the time. It's just one kid from, I believe it was Waynesburg, that is very, very fast, and he's on their team this year. Just beat him out by a hair. And, I mean, Brandon Meyer truly faked him out there whenever it looked like it was a screen pass, but then he just took it himself up the middle. A little shift here from the defense on Cornell. And Meyer still in, now he's up under center. Abercrombie and Peak behind him.
Yeah, and this is your more traditional I formation here for California.
And it's a give to Peak. And Malachi Peak has just been stuffed in this second half here.
Yeah, and it looks like Cornell's able now to wrap up the big back there for California, Malachi Peak. Like we said before, it's going to be, it's not going to take one defender to bring him down. It looks like Cornell's able to contain him now in his last couple runs here.
And truly, I think whenever he does get the ball, they're going to try and double team tackle him. Send the two-man defense on him, because truly he could not be brought down in the first quarter and into the second half.
Absolutely. So let's see what Cornell has dialed up. Is now we see Peak out there at wide out.
Wow, and an open backfield.
Yeah, empty backfield there for Brendan Meyer.
And if they send the Hounds here, it's a screen pass. And there he goes. Come on. There he goes. Still running. And who was that? None other than Chase Shemansky, the junior.
Absolutely. And if you see on that ball there by Brandon Meyer, a lot of people think that's an easy throw. It's really not, man. So for him to be able to turn and throw with all that pressure coming in at him, I think that was very good there for the talented freshman. So nods to him, and great run and catch. Well, catch and run there by Shemansky, and almost scoring there too. He only had about two defenders to beat there. So,
and truly, it's like going back to the NFL. Like you see all these pro quarterbacks, they're like, oh, it's a screen pass. That's so easy to do. They're really 15 to 20 yards out from the quarterback, and it's a lot harder than it seems. So now Brandon Meyer in the red zone. Close up under center. Give us the Peak. And Peak's down to about the 2. Let's see where they put him. I think he's on the 2-yard line. Kind of dove there. Just try and get that extra yardage there.
Collington on the tackle for Cornell.
That's one of the biggest concerns with the NFL is like when people dive, you don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely, and that's another thing too as well is with diving and stuff like that here in high school, we don't have replays for anybody to be able to, go over and see if he fumbled or if he didn't fumble.
And there's going to be a handoff to Peak, and he's going to be pushed through. No, still taken down about the 2-yard line. That brings up third down in the red zone.
Yeah, and that was a huge stop there by number 78. Excuse me while I find the name here. Oh, Solomon Bance there for the Cornell Raiders.
He's 6'2".
Yeah, 6'2", 314. That's a big boy there down in the trenches there for Cornell. So great stop there against the big back for California.
And now Meyer still close up under center on third down. They're going to need to convert here. And Brandon Meyer, touchdown! Touchdown, Trojans! And they get back in this game. The freshman Brandon Meyer gets the Trojans back tied up with the Cornell Raiders.
Man, listen, that was a great possession there from the freshman Brandon Meyer to be able to lead this California team down to the field and call his own number and run it in for a touchdown. So great for him, and that's a great momentum shifter now. As now we have a tied ball game here, and California's lining up for 2 points here. And
I don't know if you saw that, Damani, or folks at home. They literally almost all of Cornell's defensive unit, except for the cornerbacks. And he's in for the 2-point conversion. And they take the lead in this ball game. But as I was saying, I don't know if y'all saw it at home, but all of the defensive unit, except for the cornerbacks and safeties, went straight to the center because they thought Malachi Peak had the ball. But Brandon Meyer with a little fake there out to the right, and a great play there by the Trojans to get themselves back in the lead and some momentum back in this ball game.
Absolutely, and that play there is called the belly keep here in our offense. So that was a great call by Coach Ed Woods to call the belly keep and let the freshman run it in for a touchdown. And be able to give him some confidence going into this game, because now it looks like he's going to have to be the guy for you the rest of this game until Logan Hartley's healthy, and who knows how long that might be. So.
And it might be till next week on Waynesburg if Hartley can come back and regain. So you see Keys went back out on the field on those couple plays. Still a little shaky, as it was not a concussion, but it's just a little leg injury, a little cramp, which is common here in high school football because, you know, players don't really like to drink their water. And really that happens a lot in all of high school sports, you know. So at kicker for the Trojans, it's Landon Abercrombie. And truly, he had a great year last year.
Yeah, and I think he's having a great season again this year, so hopefully that continues here for California. He's been a key part for them defensively and offensively, running the ball a couple times and giving guys like Peak and Hartley a break, and Dennis as well. So, like I said, California shares the ball very well here in their offense.
Yeah, and a flip there from Cornell. Oh, and he got in a fight.
Yeah, and again, that was Crockett there. Crockett looks like a little bit of a firecracker there a little bit for California. He's a guy that doesn't like to be pushed around or shoved around. So,
but Crockett cranked him, and then the person he tackled threw a punch at him, and they're going to take him off the field because there's just no room for that in high school football. I mean, sportsmanship. It's probably only going to be for a couple plays, going to let him cool down.
Yeah, absolutely. Is now for Cornell, you have the ball again, and now you have to score again. You have to respond back to California scoring again, because if not, California now continues that momentum and confidence now with their freshman quarterback leading the way, Brandon Meyer.
I mean, truly in these couple minutes, he's done a tremendous job, and as you can see out there, Alan Dennis is back on the field, and the Trojan defense looking to find the reverse, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That was Little John there. What a play by the Trojan defense, just taking him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and another thing is for both these teams, it looks like their runs have both kind of stalled, not being able to get those running lanes that they had in the first half, and that's really just due to probably conversations and talks that they had at halftime and, you know, halftime game adjustments and stuff like that. So neither team really able to run or have running lanes here, as we just see Little John get stopped and Peak getting stopped multiple times last possession. So let's see what California and Cornell can do here to respond.
I mean, truly, for Cornell, their passing game has worked really well, too.
Absolutely, and like I said, with those edge rushers in Peak and Lehue, you almost have to run around a little bit.
And it's going to be a pass here, and they're going to pressure him. Noah Lehue tripped there a little bit, and still can't find him. And he's going to break free. Gets out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and that was a great run there by Stuckey there, excuse me, sorry. For Cornell, as he was able to run around and evade multiple defenders there from California. So great run there by him as he wasn't able to find anybody downfield.
And I truly think they're going to start letting him use his legs here a little bit.
Absolutely, and like I said before, I think them switching out all the quarterbacks and stuff like that they have tonight just kind of confuses things because he can do the same thing plus more with his throwing abilities as those other guys. So I'm very curious to see how this game continues in their play calling with Stuckey at quarterback.
And just want to give another quick thank you to about 100 viewers watching us here tonight at the home opener for California. We really appreciate y'all. And now Stuckey back there in shotgun, man in motion, and it's going to be a pitch, and it's a pass deep downfield covered by 2 defenders, and he somehow hauled that in, a touchdown by the Cornell Raiders.
Touchdown, Cornell Raiders.
Yeah, and that looks like that was number 2, Littlejohn there. And I was just talking about how those other guys that went in there and played quarterback like Johnson and Collington, and now Johnson goes in there and throws a deep ball there. So that was a great play design there by Cornell. So great play and way to execute it. So now the ball's back here in a second with California now to respond with their freshman quarterback, Brandon Meyer.
And the Trojans have really done a good job converting their 2-point conversions, and that's really helped them because even if they don't make that extra point or if they don't get that 2-point conversion, they'll still make up for that ground.
Absolutely. And like I said, this and special teams are where games are won.
And they're going to go for 2. It's going to be a quick snap. He's going to get pressure by the Hounds and takes him down. That's Noah Leahy.
Yeah, that's another great stop there by the senior, number 50, Noah Leahy.
Now the Trojans are still only down by 6 here.
Yeah, now we have a score of your Cornell Raiders 32, California Trojans 28. Yeah, 4 points.
All right, and we're back here. Trojans only down by 4 in the kickoff. Something I've noticed whenever he kicks the ball off, he doesn't go very far back. He just kind of stands back there and kicks it.
Ball in place at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10.
Yeah, as you were saying, yeah, he doesn't have a very strong leg. I mean, most of his kicks are only going about 15 yards, if that.
I mean, when I watch him kick, he only goes 1 step back, and you usually don't see.
That's almost like a pooch kick almost that they like to call it in football. So maybe he's doing that on purpose so he doesn't boot it all the way far to Alan Dennis, who we said is a very solid returner here for California, or Szymanski back there, who we've seen just had a huge play last possession for California.
Now Brandon Meyer close up under center, and it's a take still by Meyer. He's still going to find his way out of there. Gets a gain of about 5 to 6 there, and another flag out on the play.
Yeah, that looks like that's going to be a flag over there on, again, number 50, Noah Leahy. He took his man all the way downfield.
It's probably going to be an illegal man downfield.
No, probably not. It's probably going to be just
personal foul.
Yeah.
Which sucks because, they're a chippy team. We're both chirping at each other, and it's going to be a lot of fouls, and we're not going to be able to get out of here until probably 10 o'clock. Because it's already almost 9:30. As you can hear, the fans not too happy with the calls that are being called here. And as the refs huddle up here, we'll see what the players' expressions are here in a minute. And here comes the ref with the call.
Face mask on the defense.
Wow, it's a face mask on the defense.
Personal foul against the offense.
So it's going to offset.
Penalties offset. We'll replay it down.
Yeah, that's unnecessary roughness that they called there on Noah Leahy. But like we always say, you play in between the whistles, and it looked like he did that there. So very confused on why they would have called that against him.
I mean, lucky we got that offset, because then that would have been a...
Yeah, that would have pushed California back super far there.
So I'm guessing they'll just go erase that down, and they'll go back to the first, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 30, or no, at the 48-yard line. And now Brandon Meyer in shotgun formation, and he's got Peak by his side, and Abercrombie in motion. And again, Meyer using his speed to his advantage, juking a defender, spinning off a defender, and gets down to about the 45-yard line in their own, or in Cornell's territory.
Yeah, that was a great run there, and great blocking up front, and by Malachi Peak to lead quarterback Brandon Meyer.
And I mean, truly, if you have Peak blocking for you, I mean, he's gonna block that person. There's no way he's getting past it.
Absolutely. And like I said, I like how California is now designing plays for their new quarterback Brandon Meyer to be able to use his abilities a little bit more than what Logan Hartley was able to do for the California Trojans.
And like Logan Hartley, he can go to his feet and it'll be reliable, but like Brandon Meyer, as I said before, he's a track athlete and he's very fast.
Absolutely. Now we see a little bit extra linemen in for California as they're trying to get themselves settled here.
And there's Carter Frank and Devon Harris in there. And it'll be a give to Peak. There he goes. If he can get a hole, he'll be gone. And he'll be bundled up by a bunch of Cornell Raiders. And they blew the whistle way before he got actually down.
Yeah, that was a great run there by Malachi Peak there for California, and took a host of Raiders to bring him down. So
yeah,
it looks like he's, I talked a little bit about how California and Cornell, their running game kind of stalled, but it looks like California is able to open theirs up a little bit now. So
and off comes Devon Harris again. But like as you can see, Peak coming off that play, he's limping a little bit, but he should get through it. They've just fed him the ball a lot, and it's normal with running backs and quarterbacks and wide receivers to have knee or leg issues because they're always running.
Absolutely, they're always running. That even goes for your offensive linemen as well.
And Malachi runs like he hates the ground. And it's going to be a give to, I think that was Landon Abercrombie there.
Yeah, that was number 20, Landon Abercrombie on the run there. And he was tackled by number 5, Collington, for Cornell.
And it's so hard to tell because you have Braden Crockett, who's number 22, and then you have Landon, who's number 20, and they're so similar in size. I mean,
absolutely.
Ball will be placed at the 26.
And they run the same and play the same position. I mean, they all rotate in and out for each other. And that's what I said earlier. California has so many talented kids that can all score and run the ball to where you have to be able to share the sugar, we call it.
And they're going to take Malachi out for one play, just give him a little break. And they got Brandon Meyer set up close up under center. They're going to send the Hounds. And there goes Dennis. Can he do it? And he's taken out of bounds inside the 10.
And then again, like I said, there goes another guy that's been a little quiet ever since he had that interception earlier and got hurt and then had the pass. The catch.
In comes the firecracker, Braden Crockett, as you said earlier.
Yeah, so very curious to see what California has drawn up now as Szymanski and Dennis come off. And that was another great run there by the sophomore, number 2, Alan Dennis.
And it's a 1st and goal here for the Trojans. They're going to try and score again with Meyer under center. Give us to Abercrombie. Abercrombie gets a good solid chunky yards there. It's about 4 or 5 yards. Gets inside the 5.
Gain of about 1.
And truly, I do got a feel for the quarterbacks as in high school and little 1A football, you don't have comms or like a PA system to send to the quarterback to send plays.
Yeah, that's in any high school or college. You don't have that. That's more whenever you get to the NFL, you have.
Sometimes if there's like a big D1 college, they might have it, like Ohio State or Alabama, but like still that's more of an NFL thing, and CFL or XFL, more of those things. And now Meyer still close up under center. Another give to Abercrombie. Abercrombie is going to get stuffed. No gain there on the play.
Yeah, and it looked like California wanted to go with their big personnel. That looks like what we call at Cal U 0-2 biggie, with our extra linemen coming in, being our lead blocks there for us.
I don't know if they're going to run out the clock here, and it looks like they are.
Yeah, if you're California, you take it to the fourth quarter.
You take as much time as you want off that clock. See if you could score here in the fourth quarter.
28, Cornell 32.
As California, really when we got back from the second half, I think Woods gave him a really, really big pep talk in the locker room.
Shout out to our sponsors for this season. Melanie Tonini, Tri-County Realty, Mayor Scotty Insurance, Lee Supply Company, Bongiorno Contracting,
and now as we enter the fourth quarter, and we'll have a little break here, I'm going to check the scores from Channel 4 Action News. And as of right now, Kiski Cavaliers are losing 35-0 to Norwin. Steel Valley still up 7-0 on Washington. Washington's a sneaky team this year. They were ranked in the top 10 for Whitfield teams. Looking down here, Upper St. Clair is still up 27-0 against Kennemack. And then Central Valley still 14-13 with Thomas Jefferson. And Sarah Catholic is getting blown out of the water right now by Clareton, 73-0 in the fourth quarter. Baldwin is still getting beat by Fox Chapel, 41-8, and it's currently 10-10 with Bethel Park and Mars. And now we're back here. Damani Stafford joining me, and we're in the red zone. We've switched sides since the change of the quarter, and now Meyer close up under center. Give stays with him, and Meyer's going to be stuffed.
Yeah, it looked like California's trying to draw up the same belly keep that they scored off of last possession with Meyer.
Down by Anthony Miller.
And now here's the question: do you go for it, or do you take a chance? But really, they need the touchdown here, and they can't risk to take it. We really do need that touchdown here in the fourth quarter.
If you're California here, you have to score and you have to go for it here. There's no kicking a field goal and only putting yourself down by one still with Cornell, who hasn't been able to be stopped yet.
And a timeout taken by the Trojans.
And like I said earlier, for Cornell, before they scored, this has to be one of your best drawn up plays. Like earlier, whenever they ran the quarterback counter tray with Logan Hartley and stuff like that, I think that might be something they might be able to run here, but why not actually throw the bubble or some type of screen pass or something? So hopefully California and Ed Woods have something drawn up here for it.
And as of right now, the Trojans are on the left side of the hashes. And honestly, if I was the Trojans in my playbook, I would take a run to the right, but defenses are going to expect that.
Yeah, that's the thing, is they can expect it, but they always have to stop it. And like I said, I think Alan Dennis has enough speed to get to the outside and beat a guy out there.
And Brandon Meyer especially. They both have speed, so.
Absolutely. So hopefully California has something, I don't want to say overly complicated, but a little trick play or something like that here to be able to score on this play.
Another big loss was Lee Kwok last year. He was our first 2,000-yard rusher, and it might have been the first or one in a very, very long time.
I think the last guy to ever rush for 2,000 yards would have probably been Dante Valentino, who's our high school all-time leading rusher. So, yeah. So that would have been in the early or mid-2000s there with Dante.
Which he was electric whenever he played.
Absolutely. And a couple guys came close. Jelani Stafford, Jaden Zuzak also came close, but Lee Kwok is the only one that eclipsed him.
And now Brandon Meyer running out to the right. and he's in for the touchdown! Trojans take the lead! Early in the fourth quarter, the Trojans take the lead!
Yeah, that's a great run there. Great play design there by California to allow the freshman to go in there and score. Great run there and great possession there by the freshman quarterback, Brandon Meyer here, leading the California Trojans now with a score of 34-32, California.
And now the Trojans are up by 2, but knowing them, they're going to go for 2 here.
Oh, absolutely. Now they have a chance to be able to go up by 4 points.
And it's almost ironic because that's what Cornell was a couple seconds ago. And they're going to try and punch it again. And a flag down. Wow. As you can see from our sideline camera, we're going to try and see what the flag was on or if he got in. And we're going to hear the flag here in a couple seconds. And here comes the ref with the flag.
Face mask, number 20 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, retry.
And they're going to retry that half the distance to goal. I mean,
yeah, now if you're California, you can go for another tush push here now that you're on the half-yard mark line now for California to be able to score here and put yourselves up by 4 points here. Now, like we said, every point matters here now late in the game here in the fourth quarter.
And going back to the NFL, they tried to actually ban the tush push, but it's every team uses it. It's not really giving that big of an advantage. It's just
absolutely. It's just that the Philadelphia Eagles, who established that, are just so talented up front that they're able to do
with
things
Jalen
like that.
Hurts and his speed, and they're going to give it to.
That was Landon Abercrombie there.
And they take the lead by 4 late in this game. With 11 minutes and 16 seconds, or 11 minutes 21 seconds remaining, it is 36-32 Trojans. And as you can see, the Trojans are hyped getting off that field. I mean, who wouldn't be after that amazing drive by the California Trojans? I mean, Jelani, when you played, what was probably the best game that you ever played whenever you were in high school? Like the most fun, exciting, and talent,
So honestly, man, this game was kind of reminding me a little bit of whenever I played Mapletown my senior year. It was back and forth. It was me and a guy named Landon Stevenson, who's their all-time leading rusher over there. So it was just me and him going back and forth, and we were able to squeak out with a win, almost similar to tonight. We were only able to win by, I want to say it was only by a touchdown or so. So this is kind of what it reminds me of. So this is a great game. I'm glad that you guys let me come be a part of it tonight and call this game alongside you on Trojan TV. So
really happy to have you.
Absolutely. It's a great game, and I'm very excited to see how the rest of it turns out here in the last 11 minutes here.
And I truly do think there's big plans for Brandon Meyer there in the future. I mean, coming down, you losing 3 players at halftime and truly just taking literally almost ironic they give him the keys and say, here, go do what you want.
Absolutely. And like I said, I think at first whenever he first got thrown in there, they thought, they maybe thought Hartley was going to come back, but now that they see Hartley's out and, having to go with their younger guy, they open up the playbook for him a little bit. And I'm happy for him, man. I'm close to him. I'm close to his family, so I'm very happy. The kid works hard. He deserves moments like this, and hopefully he's able to lead the Trojans to a win.
And now Landon sends it away. It's a little squib kick, and he takes the fair catch about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, now if you're California here, you were able to stop the run for the past couple of possessions, but you have not been able to stop the pass by Cornell. So I wonder how California is going to counter that here.
Turner with the fair
And I mean, the true matchup of the season is going to be us versus Jeff Morgan, the last game of the season. I mean, me and you did that game last year, and that was one heck of a dogfight. The Trojans were down big coming in the second half, and they ended up coming all the way back to 20, and then they just couldn't convert they couldn't convert this extra point, I should say.
Yeah, they went for 2 instead of for 1 to win the game, which was a smart decision, but it came back to haunt them for a little bit.
And it's going to be a little screen pass, and he's taken down with a big truck, and I believe that was Braden Crockett.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, man, this kid's like a firecracker, man. Just watch out, and he's going to pop. So.
And as a sophomore, he already caught Nico's record for heaviest squat as a Trojan in high school. He's at 605.
Yeah, which is very impressive for only a sophomore in high school. So,
and he's already in the 1,100-pound club as a sophomore too. And Nico was ended in the 1,300, which was insane to think of.
Yeah, so we see Cornell trying to come out and establish the pass here. Let's see if they go back to Little John or Johnson on a run, or even Stuckey now. Yeah, that was what we like to call a hook and ladder. I mean, I'm not really sure on why they ran that, but
I mean, smart play idea there by the Cornell Raiders, but just couldn't succeed on that play though.
Yeah, absolutely, and that play does work, especially if your corners are playing off against you. That's something that you run there. But now it's going to be 2nd and long here for Cornell.
And still Stuckey behind there, and he's going to take a run, and it's taken down in the backfield, but a flag on the play. That was number 52, Colton Loudon, on the sack, and it's going to be on the offense, so that sack will count for Colton Loudon.
Yeah, it looks like Stuckey tried to run a speed option there with his running back, Johnson, but wasn't able to find anything for him.
Number 20 on the offense. That penalty's declined.
And that penalty will go on number 20 for the Cornell Raiders, and that's Khalil Johnson.
Yeah, now that's going to be 3rd and 16 now for your Cornell Raiders here.
3rd and long here. Let's see what Stuckey and the Cornell offense is going to do here.
Absolutely, and if I'm the defensive coordinator here for the Trojans, I'm putting a lot of guys back and telling Lehue and Peak to contain Stuckey back there in the backfield.
And as you can see, deep in the backfield, I know y'all can't see it on camera, but deep in the backfield you have, I believe that is Szymanski and Dennis way back in the backfield, just trying to contain, and a false start on the offense, so it's going to be 4th. It's going to be 4th and very long here.
Oh, excuse me, it is 4th down here for Cornell. I thought it was still 3rd down.
And as I just said, she got Szymanski and Dennis way back there.
Absolutely, they got to play what we call playing the sticks there. So as you can see, Szymanski back.
Oh, they're going to punt it, actually. I was mistaken. I thought they were going to. Oh, and there goes Dennis. A little fumble. Come on, Dennis. There he goes. Trucking the defender. Still on his feet. Oh, baby. And the Trojans finding life here in the 4th quarter.
Absolutely. This is a different team that we've seen playing at the end of that first half now, as they limit their turnovers, limit their mental issues, their mental mistakes that they were making.
And, I mean, when you get back there, you see Dennis, he just ran it back right where they punted it from.
Absolutely. And that was a great run there by the sophomore, number 2, Alan Dennis.
And I don't know if y'all remember, but for last season, Dennis had 2 back-to-back home game kick returns. So, first week when we played Cornell, he had a kick return for a touchdown. 3rd week when we played Waynesburg, he had a kick return for a touchdown, first play of the game. And it was absolutely
he's a very
insane.
talented kid back there. Now we see Meyer back in at quarterback for the Trojans.
In shotgun, he's going to take it himself, and he's going to get wrapped up, dive for a little bit of extra yardage there. Gets about 1 or 2 yards there.
Yeah, it just looked like Malachi Peak there just missed the guy he was supposed to block there off the edge.
On the tackle for Cornell.
As you can hear from the sidelines, one of the coaches said, keep fighting, keep fighting.
Yeah, let's see if the freshman here, Brandon Meyer, can lead the Trojans to another touchdown here on this possession.
And as you can hear, the Trojan fans are starting to get a little riled up here. As now Szymanski comes off the field. And Meyer, he's going to be in pistol formation. No, now he's going to get back up under center.
With Landon and Peak in the backfield.
And it's going to be a give to Landon. Landon's going to get tackled back behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yards there. And that's going to bring up 2nd and long. He's back. I think he's just at the 30-yard line or at the 31-yard line. We'll see where the ref spots him. I think we got a Raider down here. And yep, we do have our Cornell Raider down, and we will take the camera away from their player, and we will go to our huddle. And let's get a little live update here on scores. You know, it's always scary when you see a high schooler or anybody go down in an injury. I mean, ever since I was watching that Bengals-Bills game, I've been scared ever since when I see an injury.
Absolutely, but like I said earlier, I think football is becoming a little bit more safer from a lot of the injuries in the past. I mean, you're still going to have your guys cramping or, you know, stuff like that. There's always going to be that freak accident that happens.
And Greater Latrobe and Plum, looks like a great game going on, and it's currently overtime. It's 28-28. Clareton still demolishing Sarah Catholic. It's 73-0, and Baldwin's still losing to Fox Chapel 41-0. And let's see if we can find Benwood's actually keeping in there with Burgettstown. It's 23-20. Bearcats are just behind by 20, or just behind at 20. South Park still leading against Deer Lakes 28-14. GCC is beating Mount Pleasant 34-7. Jeanette's currently beating Apollo Ridge. Best Center's losing still 43-6. And as of right now, Pine Richland and Central Catholic are neck and neck there. And it's going to be the give to Peak. Peak still trying to get some yards, and that's going to bring up 4th down for the Trojans.
Picks up a few yards for the Trojans.
And a couple games have ended here. So Southmoreland Scotties have beat East Allegheny 49-7. Peters Township beat McKeesport 35-0. Shut them out here.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Like I said, McKeesport is home to the #1 running back in the country, Keemon Spell. So for them not to be able to score is very concerning to me. Hopefully, you know, something came to be. And another score I just saw was Aliquippa 42, Bell Vernon Leopards 7.
And we got another player down here for I don't know why I'm blanking here. Cornell, excuse me. Mapletown actually snuck by Fraser 22-21, and that was the final score. Norwin beat Kiski. Aliquippa, they just fell short, or they won against BVA. I mean, ever since their boy left a couple years ago, they've been a little shaky, but I think they're going to be all right. Avonworth beat West Mifflin 37-7. Steel Valley beat Washington 21-6. I was impressed by Washington keeping in there with Big Steel Valley. Woodland Hills beat Penn Hills 41-7.
Yeah, that's always a great matchup in rivalry whenever you have Woody High versus Penn Hills. So.
And Thomas Jefferson actually came back and shut out Central Valley from the first quarter.
Wow, so it looked like TJ definitely turned things around, winning that game 37-14.
Montour lost to Moon 41-13. And yeah, a couple Trojan games usually last a while, but all right, so here we go. 4th down for the Trojans. Brandon Meyer back there. And it's going to be a give to Alan Dennis. Alan Dennis to the right side, still on his feet. And it's going to be a turnover on downs for the – no flag comes in after that one. After a little shoving after the whistle was blown.
Cornell will take possession.
And Cornell takes the ball back with about 6:52 to go here in the 4th quarter. And it'll be 1st and 10 from, I believe, it's going to be about the 25-yard line. Yeah, they're going to set him right on the 25-yard line. And so the Trojans here gonna run like almost looks like a Christmas tree out there. Have one guy in the backfield and it just slowly divvies down from there. And now they're gonna spread out here.
Yeah, and that's Stuckey in there at quarterback.
Stuckey looking for the pass, and it's going to be a short screen pass over the middle, and he's taken down, but I think he's just going to be shy, or they might give him, yep, they're going to give him the first down there.
First down, Raiders.
Just a good pass there by Stuckey, getting it right over the middle, right where they needed. And here we go, Stuckey still back there. Shotgun, it's going to be another pass wide open, and he's going to be taken down, loss of about 5 from his original spot where he caught it. So it's going to be about 2nd and 5 here, and we're going to see what's going to, yep, they're going to put him on the 40-yard line, just a little bit back from it. And it's going to be 2nd and 5.
Cornell.
It looks like they're mostly running the zone, not too man-to-man here, because they
yeah, and the corners are playing off a little bit with Meyer and Dennis playing off.
And Stuckey, fake pass, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield for a big loss, and I think I know who that is, and it's Noah Lehue.
Yeah, that's another great stop there by the senior, Noah Lehue, to get in there on Stuckey. And like we said earlier, he's a very slippery person. He can't, be brought down on first contact. So,
and you saw he kind of went with a little fake pass to get Landon Abercrombie and Malachi Peak off him.
Absolutely.
And then ran back to the outside, just got caught up by Noah Lehue.
Yeah, and that was a great tackle there.
About 5 minutes here to go. And Stuckey on a crucial 3rd down. Stuckey, another pass. Can he get pressured again? It's a deep pass, deep ball. And it's picked off! It's picked off! The Trojans come up big downfield. Here we go, Trojans.
Yeah, that was a great interception there by number 9, Aiden Keys.
I honestly did not see it, Damon, until he came up and started running around with it. I honestly thought he caught it.
Yeah, I thought the Cornell receiver caught it.
That's the receiver number 5. That was their receiver, Terrence Coolington. And I mean, the Trojans really, after that, I don't know what Wood said in the locker room.
Yeah, but this is a different team that we've seen at the end of that first half.
They were all down and out because they lost 3 of their biggest players on the field, Aiden Keys, Alan Dennis, and Logan Hartley.
Yeah, now this is a huge possession here for California with a little under 5 minutes here to go, 4 minutes and 51 seconds to be exacted. For this freshman, Brandon Meyer, to come in and step in the way he did against a very talented Cornell team.
Very tough Cornell team.
Absolutely. I think hats off to him, honestly, how this game ends for California. I think he did everything, that you could as a freshman. So,
and I'm going to go in here and look at Cornell's last game that they played. And yeah, they played Bashir last game. They're a Pittsburgh team, and they won 35-23. Bashir, they're a pretty solid team all around.
Absolutely, that is a very tough team up there in Pittsburgh for Cornell to play, and both these teams tonight are very talented, California and Cornell. So
a lot of weapons on either side of the ball
for both teams. And like I said, I was very surprised on how well California distributed the ball here tonight with all their guys that are talented. You also have Cornell, who passed the ball with Stuckey, Johnson, Collington, all these different guys playing quarterback for them, and also different guys playing receiver, running back, all that stuff. They showed the rock here tonight. So.
And Cornell, I mean, they didn't lose many big players last season. I mean, they still kept Stuckey. They still kept Johnson. I mean, that was one of the biggest reasons why we lost last season. And I don't know who has the ball. Oh, did he break free? He's still on his feet. My goodness. I believe that was Abercrombie on that one.
Yeah, that was Landon Abercrombie there on a really, really tough run there for California.
And now another player down for Cornell. I mean, just seeing Landon, he he couldn't be tackled there. I mean,
absolutely. And that, like I said earlier, California has so many guys that can give the ball to. You have Keys, Abercrombie. You have Crockett who can get the ball sometimes. Dennis, Hartley.
Malachi.
Peak, you have all these different guys that can come in.
Szymanski's in there, too.
Yeah, Szymanski can come in here and get the ball as well. So California does a very good job at sharing the rock here tonight.
And I feel like that's one of Peak's biggest holdbacks last season was when they had Kwok, that was their main guy.
Absolutely, and that's how things are. Whenever you're a guy with Kwok's speed to do the things that he did, stuff like that happens. As now we see Meyer in here at quarterback.
And it's going to be a give to Peak. Peak's just going to try and bull his way through there.
Yeah, and if you're California here, there's no reason to put the ball in the air or put it in harm's way. Even though you do have a talented quarterback like Meyer, you just keep running the rock until they stop you here. So
yeah, because clock's winding down. There's only 4 minutes remaining. I mean, Cornell still has all 3 of their timeouts. They're going to need to use them at some point.
Absolutely, and maybe they're saving them for to see what California ends up doing here.
And if they do score, they're going to try and save them for late game.
Absolutely. And another thing as well, we were talking about talented people. Another guy is Eli Carpenter, receiver out there. I mean, California doesn't really throw the ball much, but, he's out there blocking every play, so hats off to him as well.
And absolutely, him being 6'3", it's a real big advantage. And they're going to give the ball again to Crockett.
Yeah, that was a great run there as he was brought down by number 5 for Cornell, Terrence Collington.
No, sorry, that was Landon. As I said before, it's very easy to get them mixed up because they both are very close in numbers 20 and 22, and they're both very similar in size. Landon only being a couple inches taller than him, but Trojans about midfield here, just above, or at about the 40-yard line. And we're going to see what they can do here. It's 3rd and 1. So in your eyes, or in my eyes, I would go with a tush push here, but that's what they're going to be expecting. And it looks like that's what they're going to do because they have the hounds. They have everyone set up close, but it's going to be a give to Landon, and they're going to push him forward. And does he get it?
I think with forward momentum, he gets that first down.
Yes, and the ref is way ahead of the marker, and they're going to give it to him. And that's a first down for the Trojans. That's big here in this late ball game with 3 minutes remaining.
And it looks like number 2, Littlejohn, is down for the Cornell Raiders. That'd be a tough loss for them.
He's been their main guy on offense running-wise literally about the whole game. Him, Johnson, and Stuckey have all been huge for Cornell here tonight. And I feel like that's going to be a tough, later on in the season when we get to the WIPIO playoffs, that's going to be a dynamic trio to look for. Absolutely. And I think California has themselves a dynamic 6. So, like I said, they have a lot of people that they can all count on. And, tonight proved that. And, it's good that California got tested early in the season with guys going down with injury, such as their starting quarterback Logan Hartley here tonight, and for Brandon Meyer to be able to step in and do what he's doing and leading this team here with almost 3 minutes left here to go with a lead of 4 points. I think, California's being tested. I think that's good for them to have right now. So. And Littlejohn walks off the field himself, which is a good sign, as he won't be injured or won't be too terribly injured. Most likely it'll probably just a cramp or just pulled a muscle. But I mean, truly, like you said, it's a true statement for showing that the Trojans do have options. Absolutely, and I think that shows a lot. And, it puts Single A on notice now. California's not just going to beat you with 1 or 2 guys anymore. They got a whole group of guys that can come out and score. And truly, this was a big test year for the Trojans because, going into the season, there was a lot of doubts because they lost a big contribution on the line with Matt Miller, a couple others to name a few. They're losing Lee Kwok, Nico Georgidis. They lost a bunch last year because, that senior class was a whole bunch of athletes. That was probably one of our biggest class of athletes in a long time. Yeah, and just to shine light on that, I remember it was coming off our 29th season whenever we lost to Cornell in the first round of playoffs. A lot of guys, we lost a lot of guys. We lost our starting quarterback, our whole entire offensive line, a couple of our receivers, a lot of guys that it was going to be hard to replace. And
One thing Coach Woods told us, and he told the papers, he said, we're not rebuilding, we're just going to reload. And, that's what he's going to do every year. He's going to put the best 11 out there and compete. And, Ed Woods hasn't had a losing season since he's been here. Made the playoffs every single year he's been here. So I think he is putting California back on the map here.
And, it's kind of reminded me of Mike Tomlin. He hasn't really lost.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great comparison is to Mike Tomlin, a guy that just, has been there for so long and, he just hasn't had a losing season.
And it's just so consistent.
Yeah, it's just
over 20 years without a losing season is amazing in itself.
Yeah, and even before Coach Woods came over here at Beth Center, he always had a solid team over there as well. So
back when they had their quarterback, Bailey Lankowski, he was in Fundy and all those guys, they were
even before that, he had guys like Tony Welsh, he's a phenomenal wrestler. I know his little brother is now at Penn State as a wrestler. So, like I said, he just always keeps a very good team around him and, very respectable kids on the field and off the field as well. So hats off to Ed Woods and his staff for what they've been able to put together here at California in the past couple of years he's been here.
And it's kind of funny, if you look at when they go in the huddle, you can always tell where Noah Leahy is because he's one of the tallest ones on that field.
Yeah, he's just towering over top of everybody.
Nearly 6'6". And Brandon Meyer close up under center with Abercrombie, Crockett, and Malachi behind him. And the give is going to – no, he's going to keep it himself. There goes Brandon. And that's going to be another Trojans first down.
Yeah, that's a great run there by the freshman, number 4, Brandon Meyer for the California Trojans there.
Brought down by Collington.
And like I keep saying, he's a talented kid, and tonight he's able to show off his abilities now on the offensive side of the ball. So, and I think California knows now that, even if something does happen to Hartley or anything like that, or even for years to come, they know they have a great quarterback here in Brandon Meyer.
You truly hate to see that Logan goes down in his senior year, but, injuries are going to happen. There's nothing you could do about them because you don't know in the moment.
Absolutely.
And now Meyer close up under center with a bunch of running backs beside him. Little full house offense there by Woods, and it's going to be Crockett. There he goes. Wow, what a run by there by Crockett. I'm going to make sure.
Picks up the first down for the Trojans.
No, again, that was Landon. Excuse me, folks, for that mistake.
Yes, now we see California's knocking on the door here to put themselves up by 2 possessions here.
And it's nearing the 2-minute. Sure, in high school football, we don't have a 2-minute warning, but players know when there's a 2-minute warning, like when it's close to 2 minutes, because take a look at that scoreboard and you're like, oh, crap, we need to do something here.
Absolutely. And now if you're Cornell, you have to start using your last 2 timeouts here and keep California from scoring.
And now Meyer close up under center with Crockett, Peak, and Abercrombie right next to him. And it's going to be another give to Abercrombie. Abercrombie still pushing through and a flag thrown. And
Flag on the play.
Carter Frank, oh no.
See, and that's something you just can't have in number 44, Carter Frank. You just can't do that here, especially this late in the game. And, game on the line here, man. Your team's about to score and put themselves up to potentially win this game here, and you do stuff like that.
And I think there will be an offset because there was a flag before.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be face mask against Cornell is the first call we're going to get.
I don't know if he will get tossed or just.
I don't think he'll get tossed. I think that'll just be unsportsmanlike against him.
Which, obviously, it'll be most likely an offset because of the face mask.
We have 3 penalties. We have a personal foul, chop block, number 61 on the offense. After the play, we got unsportsmanlike. Personal foul. Offense, personal foul. Over here, nose offset.
So apparently they did not offset those penalties, and so it'll just be a personal foul on the Trojans. Number 44, Carter Frank. I mean, she's probably got a little hot-headed because of player took him down and he didn't really like that too much. You're going to have 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining here. First down, first and goal.
Yeah, you see Meyer's going to take this down to the final couple seconds here before he snaps the ball.
And it's going to give a run to Peak. And could he go? Hurdling down to about the 5. And with 1 minute and 5 seconds to go here, the Trojans are within scoring position.
Yeah, now you see that was a great run there by Malachi Peak.
And under a minute here to go, and I think Cornell's gonna, somebody's gonna take a timeout here.
Yeah, we actually have a player down for Cornell here.
And as you know, there's a packed house here for California. I mean, Trojan fans love their Trojans here. And we're going to take a quick break real quick. All right, and we're back real quick, and sadly we're going to have to say goodbye to Damani Stafford as...
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys again for having me here tonight and being a part of calling this very great game here. As, we have a guy going off the field here, number 74 for Cornell. So hopefully everything's okay with him and he's able to play next week. But like I was saying, man, I appreciate you and Mr. DeFlippo and the rest of Trojan TV for having me here tonight. And maybe I'll be back for a game later on. But, again, thank you guys.
Thank you for commentating with us, and what a great person you are, and hope to see you back very, very soon.
Absolutely.
And I will be taking over the reins here at Trojan Stadium as the Trojans are inching closer to a touchdown here. They're within the 5. And the Trojans threatening to take this game away. And, I mean, the clock is still running, and 40 seconds ticking down. And, I mean, the Trojan fans, you can hear them. They're getting hyped up as Meyer tries to stuff it in and he's taken down way in the backfield. And as the clock ticks down, keeps ticking, and stops about 20 seconds as I think Cornell took a timeout there. And I mean, what an outstanding performance by the Trojans, rallying back at halftime. They were down by a touchdown, and I mean,
Cornell, that's your second timeout.
After losing Hartley, Keys, and Dennis at the end of the second half, they were really upset, or not upset, I should say. They were hurt and down. But what I think the Trojans got here was they fought back. They realized that they kept thinking, they were like, we're a family, we can do this. And they really have rallied back here in the late fourth quarter and the late third quarter and the early fourth quarter. Early third quarter and late fourth quarter. And let's see what the Trojans are going to do as Cornell's coming back out from their timeout. And the Trojans, within 20 seconds, the Cornell Raiders are going to have to do something because they're down by 4. They can't even go for a field goal if they were in range because that would not win them the game. And here we go. The Trojans out there. Freshman quarterback, Brandon Meyer. And here we go. Trojans in the huddle. And here we go. Meyer in close up under center. 3 behind him. Meyer takes the snap. Gives the peek. And they're going to take him down. And they're going to stop, and they're going to take their final timeout of the game. And the Cornell Raiders on 4th down.
Timeout, Cornell. That's your 3rd and final timeout.
And it's 4th down, 4th and 6 with 6 yards to go, with 16.6 seconds left to go. And I don't know what's going to happen here, but the Trojans are going to need, the Trojans, I say they would try and run out the clock. I mean, just an outstanding dogfight and performance here by the Trojans. Truly, they have battled throughout this whole game. Last year was not too kind to them, but this year they have proved why we are always one of the top teams in the Tri-County South, and why we are always feared to play in any matchup we get. I mean, whenever a team sees us on their schedule, they're not going to be, oh no, it's a definite loss, but they're going to be like, oh, it's California. And they know we're a scary team, and we can always come back and win in any situation we get. And next week's going to be a real tough matchup between Waynesburg, losing to them last year at home, snapping our home game winning streak it was going on for about 4 years, and then they snapped it eventually at home. And now Brandon Meyer in at QB. It's a give. And so it's a turnover, and the Trojan defense is going to need to call out the Hounds here. And with 10 seconds left to go, the Trojans are going to take a timeout here. And with 10 seconds left to go, this is turning into a real ball game here, folks. The Trojans, but the Cornell Raiders are back way deep in their own Trojan territory. And so they're on the 7-yard line. And they're going to need to find an answer for this Trojan defense. I think what they're going to do is the Trojans are going to send the ball back, try and see if they can stop them on a Hail Mary here. As we near 10 o'clock here in California. And this has been one for the ages here, folks. This has been a dogfight. Last year, we lost 27-3 at Cornell, and it's been stinging us ever since. And we have just waited and waited for this matchup to come back up on our schedule. And with Stuckey in that backfield with Johnson and Littlejohn. I don't know if Littlejohn's back out on the field after getting injured earlier in the 4th quarter. Looks like he is. And, I mean, they're going to have to – the Trojans, here we go. Stuckey. Trojans are going to take a timeout. And that's their final timeout of the game. And here we go with 10.4 to go. Trojans take one final timeout. It's almost a form of an ice, like how they ice the kicker, almost like an ice to the offense. I mean, in my 3 years of broadcasting, this has been one of the most exciting games I think I've ever watched here in the Trojan Stadium. That Jeff Morgan game was good, but this has been a dogfight against a top 5 team, arguably in the WIPIA 1A. And we are just putting up everything we got. We're shooting off all the cannons here at Trojan Stadium, firing off on all cylinders just to try and see what we can do. And here we go. Here we go. Cornell, the Trojan defense. Can they get a stop here to win the game? Stuckey in shotgun. And it's going to be a pass. Wide open downfield. It's going to be a flip. And the Trojans have beat the Cornell Raiders. The revenge game of the century. And the Trojans take the W down at halftime by 6. And the Trojans upset Cornell. Oh my goodness. Congratulations to Brandon Meyer, the freshman QB. Thank you to Damani Stafford. Thank you to all the fans watching. And we will see you in a couple weeks when the Trojans return home. Thank you, and I'm Connor Brown. May God bless you all, and have a great night, California.